We are 5 of 6 intrepid adventurers from the southwest of England. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are playing episode 14. Of the Star Engine.
Episode 14.
Here we go.
Pink lemonade?
Mom! And we're back.
Yes, I just put my coat back on.
Lady
Did you? I just
Gaga?
put my pants back on.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, really?
We are still one member down. We're down with Nollis for one more week. He's still asleep at the moment in
Covered in grey paste, Jack.
covered in grey paste.
That's why he can't be here. He
in
can't break
Harris's
out of his
room.
cocoon yet.
But he'll be out. He'll be out. I
He's
believe.
gaining strength.
We are going to go over, as is tradition, to a Dragoony Doodle.
Dragoony Doodle. This doodle is presented to us by A. Lindsay Neal. She's done a wonderful,
I thought that was a phone.
drawing of our wonderful Thorinir. This is going terribly. I've only just been told I needed to do Dragoony Doodles. He is in the forest. I assume this is going to be the forest of Brogabush, as there is a butterfly saying, "Hey, there's dangerous things above you. Look up."
Is that the butterfly that's about to attack him?
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It looks like something you'd see on the Bayer Tapestry.
It's very Raphaelite.
Yeah, I quite like that. I was looking at Jack because he knows what I'm on about.
Yeah, I love the Bay Tapestry.
Cool, so let's put that one on the wall. Thank you very much, Lindsay.
The wall.
Lindsay has a GoFundMe at the moment, so if you
Gowdy.
fancy just giving some donations, go fund her.
Fuck eyes.
What have you seen by it?
Okay, here we go. This is this one's from Chaotic Awesome, one of our regulars.
Teddy bear.
Thank you, Kay. This is the little girl and teddy bear from the special week that we had where we were playing alongside the
I
fans.
tell you what, if I'd known she looked like that right at the start, I would have killed her the moment I saw her.
She's pretty friggin' creepy.
I thought she looked cute. I don't know what you're
That
talking
is... Really? She looks like something out of Silent Hill.
about. I haven't watched Silent Hill. It's too
I'd like
scary.
you to find my teddy bear.
Yeah,
I imagine she talks.
desperately creepy. I love that picture. I think that's awesome.
Another one for the wall.
Another one for the
Another
wall.
one for the wall.
Marvellous.
Okay.
Keep them coming.
Let's return to.
To real life.
Well, I was going to say our beautiful faces, but that would have been
I don't bother with real
that
life.
would have
It gets in the
been
way of the
mis-selling.
My beautiful face.
I'm
Yeah.
the holder.
Thank you for your Dragoony Doodles.
Thank
the
you
camera's
very
over there,
much.
not over there. Fantastic.
Are you looking at it?
I was looking
Thanks
at Carl.
very much.
I was looking at Carl. Thanks, Carl.
We have now. I think
He thinks.
possibly there's some new things that might happen on our stream tonight.
Oh.
When different things happen.
Oh, eject to see. Oh,
We've tried. We've
Smoke
been playing with some creator tools thanks to some discussions with Happerblap, our excellent moderator, and maybe some things will happen if certain things occur tonight. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? So yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
So if any surprising sounds occur from the computer and things pop up on the screen, then things might have worked. We will see.
I didn't know
how
what was going on.
exciting.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm hype.
The trailer even worked this week. So
It
It did work last week as well, the trailer.
looking at the sound desk, I can tell you that no one's muted. So
That's true.
all's well.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's good. Right, let's go over to Claro's collaboration.
Collaboration.
Oh, before you do, Claro,
I thought.
before you do, I'll just point out the beverage that I've got this evening.
Oh, fabulous!
Mum!
Where are you going tomorrow that you're not having a sherbet?
Pink lemonade from the title sequence.
Can I have some?
Mum's been
Yeah,
around.
you can have some.
Can I mix it with? What have I
Yeah.
got?
I saw it. It was 50p in the supermarket.
Top me
So
up.
I thought I'll have that.
Summer fruits and pink lemonade.
Yeah.
Whoa, and all those facts and figures are all green.
Hold it up, Rich.
There's no bad things in that.
No.
Okay, please, Clara. Now you may start your collaboration while I pour some pink lemonades round.
You can't stop.
This is
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
quality live streaming. Okay.
What's good?
This is what you get.
At the start
Subscribe now.
of last week's
More
episode,
pink lemonade.
subscribe now. At the start of last week's episode, we were stood at the top of a 20-foot ledge. Our very own...
Again.
Again.
Yeah. Which time was this?
Our very own...
Very familiar with this particular.
I was thinking.
length.
I was like, that's weeks ago.
No, that's every
Yeah,
episode.
it's
for the
every
last
episode,
6
yeah.
weeks.
Believe it or not.
Sorry, Clara.
Our very own Holm was at the bottom of the ledge. He'd just been knocked out. That was beautiful.
That was
We've
great.
been sitting next to each other too long.
Yeah.
He'd
In
just,
tune.
just been knocked out
Sorry.
by talking telepathically to a water dragon. This water dragon had been calmed by our very own Thorin, charmed, if you will.
Charmed, yeah.
Charmed and calm.
We scrabbled him up the 20-foot ledge with no problem. You having problems with that lemonade, Jack?
Not fair.
That's nice.
Okay.
Carry on.
I'm very greatly concerned.
I'm enjoying mine.
You've got me off kilter. Okay, so we got him up the ledge. We took him back to the camp, and there was no way of waking him. No matter what we did, he seemed to be in somewhat of a coma. The party discussed what to do. We needed to find the root of this evil that had caused this to happen to him. And the group elected to go back to the dell one more time and to investigate the water that was there. This seemed like a reasonable alley of investigation given the water that they had seen in Galosh. So they went there and they obviously touched the water knowing what horrible things that would do. It had varied effects.
None of them.
What happened?
Well, Claro was able to point out that it was magical using Detect Magic, and then Thorinir smartly just poured a cup of it over himself.
Very hot.
Yeah.
This forced you into a kind of a half coma. You were paralysed, and paralysed with no recovery.
So once again, we had to haul somebody back up the cliff.
My favourite thing that happened was that Zolan purified the water using a little cafetiere.
I am a little
Yeah.
cafetiere, yeah.
Yeah.
Purified it of disease and poison, so we know it's not diseased or poisonous.
But not magic.
No, not magic.
Well, that's why I poured it on my head.
Oh,
Just trying to impress Holm.
he wasn't there to see it, I'm afraid.
Thorinir was dragged back to camp by the big lad. What's he called?
Hauser.
Hauser. Big as a house. Stiff as a board, light as a
Light as a
feather.
feather, stiff
Yeah.
as a board.
Easy to carry was old Thorinir. The rest of the party elected to go around the outside of the dell
Round the
And-
outside. Round the outside.
and I've got M&M in my head now, and follow the stream
You haven't got any
into
M&Ms.
the woods. Oh,
No.
God. We discussed that last week. That's also part of the recap. We followed the stream to its source. It seemed to go underground. There was nothing we could do about that, so we headed back. While this was happening, Thorinir was in camp and managed to wake up out of your paralysis.
Just about.
Just in time to meet Tomty,
And you were confronted by Tomty.
who wasn't in the best of.
Not a nice
moods.
man, Tom T. Don't
No.
like him.
He didn't know who you were, so
No.
you climbed into a tree and hid with a snake.
Yes.
Good place to hide trees.
Yeah.
That happened.
Default plan.
Safe.
We
Went all Zolan on him. Hide in the tree.
we headed back
He did a Zolan. Well, that have to be a for the thing to do a Zolan.
to do a Zoland. Anyone who's never played Dungeons and Dragons, it's always the strangest pieces of geography that get you. We managed to go along like a 45-degree slope,
Pretty much, yeah.
and it was 60 foot long, so that meant we did 2 movements of this 60-foot slope in both directions.
We were being tied together as well.
That's 3 players, 4 times, 12 rolls. If any one of those was a 1, we were really going to hurt ourselves. And we managed to roll our way through it. So well done, everyone. Yeah.
There was a minor slip,
But we got it.
but we
No worries.
did get through.
There's 3 of us. We headed back to camp, and Holm was still knocked out. And we were still none the wiser of where this magic was coming from. But we knew it came from underground, and we knew it came from a water source. So this is something we can look into later on. We elected to take a long rest. So our whole team recovered.
We did.
We did. Thank you. Waking in the morning, Holm was no longer asleep by the fire.
No,
He
he was
woken
having
up.
a shower.
He was having a shower.
His shoulders.
And one by one, minus Claro, the group went and talked with a very naked Holm who managed to sweat water out of his face. Was that
It's more than
Arms
sweat.
and shoulders.
It
Ah.
was eject.
a self shower?
Yeah.
In a beautiful piece of role play that you should all watch, the party discussed what they were going to do next and elected to go towards Broga, the town near Brogabush, funnily enough, which is probably where it gets its name. The party said goodbye to these characters that we spent a good 4 or 5 episodes with: Betts, Hauser, and Holm, and Tomty, who we can now talk to. We go forwards knowing that we're after a deity called Void, or at least this is the thing causing the chaos. We have Jingo, the halfling, in Broga
Find Jingo.
to catch up with. At least I believe. To catch up with. And we need to investigate where this chaos is coming from. We know that in this direction went a group of people wearing white clothes.
Googling them right now.
Yeah, the
The Augurs of Nell.
Nell. Thank
White
you very
robe
much.
with gold amulets.
Yeah, I remember that, but barely anyone's birthdays.
Whenever you mention the Augurs of Nell, for some reason I got the Knights Who Say Knee in my head.
Yeah, the Augurs
Is
of
that-
Nell.
Yeah. We are the Augurs of Nell. No!
Nell!
Is that a Monty Python thing, is it?
And it's there, about to head onto the road,
About to leave camp and set foot towards Broga.
that we join our heroes in session 14 of Die Rolling
You ready, Jack? We can
Collaboration.
stall for a couple of minutes if you need it. He's good.
He's good. He's good.
I vote a professional.
Glad someone is.
Turning your back and leaving Brogabush, having spent a few days there, you are hardened and tired from your journeys there, but ready to move on. You return, you begin to walk out of the forest. What's your marching order at the moment?
I guess I'm in front.
Always.
To the front.
Apparently I know where I'm going.
Yeah. Claro behind Malcolm.
Down here.
I'll be at the back.
Oh, thanks.
One of these
No
days,
doubt
we,
distracted by trees and the like.
we really ought to prepare one of these days for me knowing where I'm going. By me actually talking to you so that I know where I'm going.
That's fine.
That way.
As a sign. This
You,
way to Broga.
if you recall, the area that you were exiting is the same area that you entered the forest. So the chill from this strangling blue moss that you've been enveloped within for the last few days starts to wane and subside as you return back out into what was the relative emptiness and spacious surroundings that you were used to previously, where you return to this environment, you once again see the area where you met these 2 lizards that were scampering away a couple of days previously, at the same point where a number of small rodents attacked you. This is where you find yourself again, back on this highway, or track rather than highway, that was running from west to east. You had come from the west, you stopped here, detoured, and headed to the forest, and the track continues to the east, which was the way you were previously heading.
Do you know the way, Malcolm?
East to Broga.
Then we follow you on.
Looks like we're going to get hijacked.
We should be wary for bandits,
Oh yes.
if they exist.
Well, we know they don't now, don't we?
Mm,
Well, there's always bandits, but
We should be
Sure.
wary of lizards.
yes,
we should
extremely wary.
we
of
should definitely be
lizards.
aware of small furry rodents. In fact, any of the local fauna could be angry and dangerous.
Safe to assume.
So you're continuing to the east.
Mm-hmm.
It's... When did you last slept?
We've just literally
Just now.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
just woken up, haven't we? Yeah.
Just
woken
now.
up. Yeah.
What time of day are we at?
It was the morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
It was the morning when you were woke. That's what I
Late
thought.
morning.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you return to this track, and you... What kind of pace are you maintaining along this road?
A trudge.
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 So a regular speed.
We are
Yeah.
trudging.
Not marching.
Yeah. Fine.
Just not in any great hurry either.
No. The last time we went to a human town, it was not so good.
Have you got room for another backpack?
You're already tired.
Always tired. I'm old.
I've always got room in my backpack.
Roll a d20.
As you journey onwards along the dusty track,
11 room.
11 rooms, yeah. I'm on.
the magnificent forest to your north reduces to a single brilliant sapphire in the distance. Your minds wander.
The sea.
You have a lot of time to daydream of your past, the people that you've met, the strange creatures that you have fought, and the company that you now find yourselves in. Although you might not speak it, it surprises you to have found affinity with others so different from you, others of such zeal. Humans,
You know, Clara, you're not so bad.
humans,
Get away from
gnomes, elves working together. You've not seen this interspecies camaraderie in your lives. When you decided to leave your home, was this kinship something that you sought? Malcolm, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, just throw that out there, why don't you? That's 15.
We're back in die rolling, everyone.
As you stumble along this dusty track, you
Oh, hang on, that's +5. That's 20.
You stumble along this track, and while you're daydreaming, lost in your thoughts, at the last second, as you're lowering your foot, you just manage to dodge to the side to avoid a large turd in the middle of the track.
Malcolm, no!
Oh, that's one big pile of shit.
What's the protocol around poo in the forest?
I'd like to identify the
You
poo,
can,
please.
you can put it in the
Sure.
forest if you
Yeah,
want.
if you make
Already
a,
have, haven't you?
I guess a survival roll.
Oh, yes,
What are you
it
doing?
might-
Playing with the poo?
Identifying.
It might be a good idea to identify. Oh, 19.
It's
Just
an
bouncing
unnatural
off.
20.
Seen a lot
please.
of shit.
Might be a good idea to identify if it's predator poo or.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe horse poo.
It's actually just me. I've just run up the road quickly.
So you've walked for a couple of miles, and this is the first real
Poo you've seen.
this is the first thing of any note that you've seen. Again, you've got this very dry, continuous, monotonous view. It's a really alien, hostile type world.
There's a clear stink off this
What
turd.
sort of poo is it?
And Clary bends down and he just, with his large inflamed nostrils as he breathes in, just bends up and he just breathes it in and he knows what type of turd it
Sticks
is.
his finger in. Has
Sure.
No.
As you look at it, it instantly strikes you as being fresh. It's certainly a creature that's passed by here in the relative recent. It also, as you rolled so well, you notice that there are a number of footprints close together along this track
In the turd.
that you are very confident might be the ones responsible for whatever this turd was. From the number of footprints, you can see that it was a 4-legged creature.
Okay, thank you. It's not wearing
And-
boots.
No.
I was very
A
concerned.
4-legged creature, and its footprints are large, bovine in size, but they are almost reptilian.
Yeah. So
It's stampede.
looking at this, I can tell you it's fresh. It's warm, and you missed a bullet there, not treading on that.
Marvellous.
I think from the tracks, it looks to be those bovine creatures that we got attacked by out on the plain.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So we should be wary of those who might get attacked again.
Right.
How many tracks have you seen? Just the one?
Just the one.
Or is there a stampede?
There's probably more than one creature here.
But
You
a
would-
singular turd.
yeah, singular turn. But
So-
I
are they-
relay that
Are
information.
they walking around it, or is it some kind of I don't know, activity?
it looks like for a little while they came onto the track and then they veer off somewhere into the plain.
They've used it as some form of toilet.
Can you tell which way they were going?
The turd points in that direction.
They seem to be leading. They seem to be leading fairly kind of northeast.
The quality.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Cool. It's going northeast. So it goes
slightly,
off
slightly
the
off
track.
the track.
Yeah, if
Right.
we stick to the track, hopefully we won't bump into them. But we should look to the north as we go.
Okay.
They were dangerous last time.
They were.
How big is this poo in proportion to me?
In proportion to you,
Yeah.
well,
Knee height?
it's a fifth of your size.
Is it? Oh, big
Yeah.
poo. Oh, I'm got my eyes open now.
Yeah. Okay.
Constantly.
Downwards.
yeah.
Okay.
From now on, we're all looking at the ground in front of us as we walk along.
Yeah,
You-
Nobody's staring off into space anymore.
Okay. You can make perception rolls if you're looking to actively
Yeah.
perceive.
Avoid shit.
5.
You're so good at.
It's 11.
Fine. Okay.
You
I'm
tried
just
it?
thinking about shit. I don't want to step into it.
So you're continuing on to the east,
Yes, please.
following the track.
Follow the track.
Do you wear shoes, Doran?
I do.
Oh.
I don't mind getting them pooey.
Oh, fair enough.
Over many miles, the track underfoot starts to transform from dry and dusty grassland to a claggy, muddy terrain. The flora is clearly appreciative of this, with tall grey grasses, invasive weeds and occasionally white magnolia trees, a welcome respite from the repetition of your recent excursion. There is now no forest in view, no mountain, no river, and with minimal shelter, a persistent wind now accompanies you. If you'd like me,
Oh, please.
So this is more like a grove, like this sort of odd trees, but it's not thick. It's
very flat,
Yeah.
extremely flat. You've got very good vision all around you at the moment. It's clear, it's flat, it's just windy,
This is more sort
barren.
of veldt. Yeah.
lovely.
That's it.
Right. Plodding on.
At last, exhausted from your travel, you see your first sign of any civilization.
There's a milk.
Oh.
A simple 7 by 7 foot rectangular, doorless, dark stone, what seems to be mausoleum, with a pitched roof, which, quite unusually, intersects the very centre of the path that you're travelling on. Probably 300 feet in front of you.
How bizarre.
Have you been to Broga before?
Have I been to Broken before?
Has he been to Broga before?
Have I been to Broken? I haven't been to Broken.
No, yeah. You've probably been close to it. Whether you'd have actually ventured down into it, unless
Well,
you
I've-
had good reason to, probably
Well, I've
not.
seen
Slip
this.
of words.
Seen this.
You've not
straight.
seen this before. Certainly not in the middle of a track. You'd have remembered that, I think.
Is this a normal place for a human settlement?
No, not really. That's a very unusual thing. I will approach it and investigate it.
Okay. So you're walking up to this building. Yeah.
Well,
Are
So,
you? Yes.
so as you, I don't know, what's that red thing? We've got red thing in the chat.
Ah!
What's that?
What's the red thing?
I'd like to thank you personally for watching via the wonderful medium of Twitter. If you are new here and have a Twitter account, please whisper me.
Oh, thank you.
That was Happerblack.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wondered whether that was some automation failing to fire, but no, that's good. Good.
Thank you, Happerblack, for all you do in the chat and being our moderator,
Absolutely.
our admin.
Thank you. I think, theoretically, just to give a spoiler, I think if anyone cheers, they can write a message to us in the thing. That's a spoiler.
What's a cheer?
That's a spoiler. Okay,
What's a cheer?
so you walk up.
It's gone all straight out, so far over my
Some
head.
kind of Twitch thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You walk. So you're walking up to the outside of this building.
I'm going
to cheer at it.
Huzzah!
I'm going to investigate it very closely.
Okay.
Very.
Yes.
How
very,
close? You're like hands on the wall,
Face
sniffing
on
it.
Well, yeah, hands. Actually, yes, hands on the wall, sort of. Yeah, I'm
To
looking
one
at it,
side.
looking for any writing on it or.
Secret entrances? Nothing.
Yeah.
Isn't there just a front entrance?
It's
It's not
like,
as fun as
like I
the
say, it's
secret
a small,
entrance.
it's a small building,
Yeah.
just 7 by 7 foot, rectangular, no door.
No.
It's a very dark stone, so you can look straight inside. As you approach it, it's quite obvious to see inside.
Mm.
So as you look in with trepidation into this dark, and it's certainly a mausoleum of sorts, or something similar to that. It looks like some kind of burial building, something of that nature. You see no urn or sarcophagus that you might imagine of a building that looks like this. Particularly to you, Clary, this type of building looks very familiar to you.
Does it look
Oh,
old?
what are you
Very,
doing?
very old.
You can make a history roll to kind of investigate in.
Oh, that's not brilliant. 5 plus 7.
7. It's tricky to be totally sure. It's dark old stone, but about how old it is tricky for you to be sure.
Zolan, could you light a torch?
I can do one better than that.
That'd be better.
I can use magical tinkering to provide an object, to imbue it with the power to shed a bright light with a 5-foot radius. Is all we need for a 7-foot cabin. So, the end of my hammer. Just give it a little screw.
Yeah.
Like a magic trick. You hide it behind your hand.
Mm.
And then it comes out light. Just the tip of it. And I'll pass that to you, Malcolm, to do your investigations.
Thank you very
It's
much.
very small to you, though.
So
it
it's-
almost looks like a toy hammer. Yeah.
There's some sunlight getting into the mausoleum. It's not pitch black, but there's certainly no windows or anything like that in there. It's shadowy and relatively very dark compared to the outside. You notice the stone slabs, the same kind of stone that makes the walls. The stone slabs are the only real features of the floor or ceiling. It's pretty flat and featureless.
No writing on any of the slabs or.
Before you notice anything of that detail, something first grabs your attention more.
Monster.
Rising out
Surprisingly.
of the ground.
Do the brick from the ceiling.
Yeah, you're still stood just outside of it at the moment.
Undead.
Don't think so.
Ghouls
But surprisingly,
everywhere.
the rear internal wall of this stone room is covered in flowering creepers. It appears the vines are masking a carving.
Maybe I will go in there. Should I go in there?
I'll come with you, Mel.
Coming in?
Of
Okay.
course.
What are we doing?
All right. You
I'm
two.
going to wait in the doorway.
Are
I'll
there
stay
any,
with Thorin.
are there any kind of coffins or stone coffins or anything in there?
So, is anyone going in?
We're
Malcolm
going-
and I are walking.
We're
Yeah.
going in.
Okay.
If we scream,
Oh dear.
I like this RP.
if we,
Got to the torch.
if we scream, follow us in.
Good.
If you scream.
It's just not quite as plainsy, it's a little bit more
More shelters.
mausoleum-y. Yeah.
God.
The sound,
It
this
wouldn't be
wind,
plain. Have you got any of those sleeves?
Slightly puckery.
the
One
wind
sleeve.
Have you got a sleeve?
outside,
2 sleeves.
you can hear kind of almost creating not a draft, but you can hear it blowing from within it, from the
Does that
outside,
sound like moaning to you?
and it's
Sounds like home to me, Malcolm.
sheltered. You're now sheltered in here from that wind, so it's sort of in some ways pleasant to be sheltered from it, apart from the darkness which is now illuminated by your glowing hammer,
Only for 5 foot.
and then
5
this
foot dim.
obvious back wall covered in these creepers.
Okay.
And no coffins.
There are no.
Nothing in there.
There's, in terms of furniture, there's nothing. But the other thing that becomes immediately apparent to you is in the rear corner, just resting on the floor, is a rolled up parchment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will investigate the parchment.
Okay.
I'll do it like them.
Let's hold that up for you.
I think you can see in the dark, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually, you can still pretend to.
I actually can see
Yeah,
better in
out of
here
character.
than I can see out there
Okay.
Can you?
in the dark.
Get working on them goggles, you. This
Mhm.
isn't gonna cut it forever. You know?
As you so you investigate the parchment, you realise it's wrapped with a small red ribbon, and it has a familiar seal to you instantly. It's the same seal that you've seen
Yeah.
on your invitation. And if you decide to unwind it,
I certainly do.
familiar paper type.
Yeah.
Very inferior, no doubt.
On it is scrawled
Oh,
one.
I thought you were going to have one.
No, I don't. Not this time. On it is scrawled in that kind of style.
Yeah.
On it is scrawled a note.
Okay.
What's it say, Clara?
I think it's addressed to us. It's the same seal from Weirdwit.
Really?
Is it?
It says to look after the people.
Oh, I'm super excited.
Which people?
You can't hear it.
I'm at the doorway. You're only 7 foot away.
Okay, nice. Good point. You can hear all of
I
us.
can hear
It's a
this.
long way for you.
But who's left us this message?
Who invited you guys in the first place?
The
What?
dwarf.
I don't think we really got to the bottom of
It was
this.
the
The
dwarf.
dwarf invited you all.
No, the weasel invited me.
The weasel?
I was invited by Aaron, the elf.
And who do these people work for?
Badua, I
I
assume.
don't. I have no idea. My person was a trader.
Back to
He-
episode 1.
He literally traded weasel pelts. And I spent 12 days in the back of a cart crossing the Elflands to get here. And he just passed the message on that he was given.
Seems like a sinister network to
The
me.
weasel.
It's not gone well for you, no.
My
No, it
message,
hasn't.
my message was delivered by the dwarf that we found.
Ill.
Yes.
What does
Oh, one of the automation things happened!
What
What
does
is
Look
that
at
say?
that! What does it say?
We're hosting a stream. Something.
Oh,
someone's hosting us.
someone's
Oh,
hosted
thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you
Oh.
very much.
For being hosted.
Give your hammer up.
We give you the hammer of Zolan's light. Thank you for your hard work.
I could see the automations
Oh,
happen, but I
yes.
can't read what they say from this distance.
I was
You'll
about
have
to
translate,
say
Claire.
thank you to that camera, and I realised they cannot see.
It has the Thorinir gif.
Yeah, I
Just-
did notice
Oh,
a
nice.
little
That's very
sitting
cool.
foreigner. That was
amazing.
really
That's
cool.
exciting.
There we go, it works.
Okay.
Well done, Jack, on your...
We'll slowly improve that.
It's still going to get better.
Meanwhile, back at the plot.
I would like to investigate these vines mit my knife,
Mhm.
please.
So, as you approach them, and you try and cut them free,
Brush them free.
brush them free.
I don't want to damage them.
They're simple to move. They're very. Oh, it's all going on now. Look, something else is happening.
Black.
Half a black. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much,
Shame.
Appleblatt.
With the viewer. Thanks, Appleblatt.
We excellent.
I have no idea what's going on.
You're new to the internet, aren't you?
I very much am new to the internet. Yes, yes.
We're going to get a series of them testing all of the new functions I've put in there. Yeah.
Lovely.
So you can simply push it aside.
Yep.
It's not tricky to move them at all.
I do that.
Is there anything
As
written
you-
there?
As you do so, this image in front of you is very impressive, and it overtakes your vision as you pull all this away. All of your eyes who are looking at it. You're outside still.
We're at the doorway.
The doorway, and
Yeah.
you're in there. It's very tight in there anyway. You're all kind of looking at this image. And you're all presented with a floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall stone relief of startling drama. It's a scene quite unlike anything that you've witnessed before. 4 wizards are portrayed from 4 different races: a human, an elf, a dwarf, and an Osai. That's the 4-armed people. The wizards appear to be in dire circumstance, surrounded by tormented creatures and scenes of death and horror. Each mage is generating a massive energy from their staff, orb, or wand, which totally engulfs a central obelisk. But as frightening as the backdrop is, centrally and most noticeably, a dark statue slightly protrudes from the stonework, depicting a horrifying, otherworldly demon. The demon has 2 great twisted horns, a hulking frame, and is engulfed by a powerful energy.
Is this altogether familiar to me, this demon?
You can make a religion check.
I'm just thinking of the one that I encountered.
Twice.
That's 10. Religion, did you say?
Yeah.
12.
Similarities. Whether it's exactly the same thing. It's not identical.
Similar enough to be somewhat disconcerting.
Sure, yeah. Outstretched towards you are the demon's abhorrent claws. They hold 2 swords, one old and rusty, the other lavish and glimmering with embellishments.
Okay.
These are full-size swords. This is not
Regular, full-sized swords. I say regular. One rusty.
But carvings of these aren't actually swords.
These are physical swords.
Oh.
That the statue's claws are holding out to you, gripping.
It's a test, guys, isn't it?
Okay.
Does he look like he's giving them nicely or threatening us with them?
He has them held out in his hands. You can make, I would say, maybe an investigation check or an insight check to assess that.
14.
It looks like they're being offered out.
Could I check? So looking at this, someone's carved this. It's a bit of a long shot. I'd like to kind of work out whether this is a premonition or if it's history.
So, if you'd like to, do you want to make a history roll? Did you say?
It's it's either history or arcana, I guess, because any premonition would come from magic, right? So more than anything, I want to know if it's premonition.
And when you say a premonition, you want to know whether this is
something.
You know what? Let's go wild.
Hindsight.
I would like to. Claro, we're surrounded by stone, so he touches the stone and looks on and detects magic.
Okay. As you cast that magic, both the swords glow this familiar, vivid green, as once again does Zolan's bag.
I think you say beard.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Not yet, though.
Both of these swords are magical. I wouldn't trust either of them.
Can I come up and have a little look? I'm expecting this to be like some Indiana Jones shit. We take one and the spikes happen. So I'm just going to look to see if there's any seams. When I move it, is the arm going to whoop, and then javelins.
Pit snakes.
So you're just investigating the demon and the...
To translate, you're looking for traps.
Exactly, yes. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah, I'm looking for traps.
Okay.
Bam! Drop
Investigation.
the mic, that's a natural 1.
You are
Oh,
just...
yeah.
You're
Can I
overtaken.
have my mod?
You're overtaken by fear.
It's 5 with my mods.
Yeah, you're just, it's scary and you don't like investigating.
I run out the building.
Little turd.
Yeah.
It's only translate.
You want to look, but it's too much for you.
Okay, what do you think?
I could investigate further. And this doesn't look like any mausoleum I've seen before, but I can see if perhaps I've seen anything like this before from this.
Protect the people. Are they saying that we need these swords to protect the people?
Or perhaps protect the people from
Or
this
protect the
visage.
people from the swords?
Can I investigate further using my... I have my detect magic still focused. I'd just like to have a look around the carving if there's anything we've missed, any levers, any writings, anything.
Okay. So if you'd like to make an investigation roll then.
It is 15.
So you do it.
15. Okay. So you have a really good look round. You try and carefully move away as much of this foliage as you can. And one of the things that strikes you is that the foliage hasn't naturally grown there. It's been placed there almost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so easy to move aside. It's not really attached properly and growing into the wall. You also notice, as you're looking around, you don't see anything that jumps out as being a lever or anything that you're not spotting any traps or anything like this. The carving looks very much like a carving. There's nothing that draws your attention. Nothing else is triggering your spell. The characters are the only things that draw your attention really within the scene. You certainly... So one of the things that you notice is the elf wizard, so one of the 4 wizards there. It's just for a second reminds you of Nolus. Not in the way, it's not painted at all. It's not carved as a sea elf. It doesn't look like Nolus.
Yeah.
It's just that he's holding a thunderbolt. Just that it's holding a thunderbolt in its hand in exactly the same way that you've seen them emanate from Nolus.
Could that be figuratives of the gods rather than wizards?
Looking at this statue, it appears that perhaps this wizard worships Celeste. It's lightning based.
Could it be more metaphorical than that? That each of these wizards represents the gods and they're fighting.
I'm going to take a leap, and this black
hit your head
demon might be void.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
It's strange that this is here in the middle of the road.
Where anyone can see it.
Anyone can see it. The vines have not been disturbed. In fact, I can say they've been placed here. I think maybe this has not been here long.
So, one more thing grabs your eye as you're investigating the carving more thoroughly. The male dwarf, again one of these 4 wizards on the outside, is holding a bag with striking similarities to Zolan's bag.
Is he?
Zolan, where did you get your bag?
I stole it.
From a dwarf?
No, from a gnome. There was nothing special about the bag.
Are there more bags?
Maybe.
First of all, these swords are glowing in the same way your bag is glowing.
The bag has magical properties, but it's nothing special.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay, these 2 swords, it's looking like this was left deliberately for us to find it. I don't know quite how. I'm sure.
Don't think anything good will happen from taking these swords, given they're presented to us by what appears to be a demon.
Take the rusty one.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, you have 2 swords. You have the rusty one, you have the really nice one, and you're supposed to be tempted by taking the really nice one, but you actually think no. Actually, you take the rusty one because that's not the obvious way to go. But is that then a double bluff? And
What's in the parchment?
hold that a
Clary?
minute.
What's in the parchment?
It says, "Look after the people."
Does that all? That's all
Malcolm,
it
I
says.
don't need this. I can see perfectly fine.
I can't. Hold that for me. Malcolm reaches forward and grabs hold of both of the swords.
Okay.
That would have happened so long ago if Nollis was here.
We wouldn't have even had time to look at the carving, let's be
Walks
honest.
in, grabs
Walk in,
my
oh,
sword.
look, swords! Excellent!
So, you take the two swords, one of which indeed old and rusty, and one of which lavish, glimmering with embellishments. Weigh about the same in terms of their shape and size. They're about the same.
Is there anything carved on them, anything written on them that I can identify?
Well, one thing I will say is holding them makes you feel a little uneasy. Just a little uneasy. You're not quite sure in what fashion. The rusty one...
There's something a bit weird about these.
Malcolm, they are magical swords. I can assure you there is nothing natural about them.
Yeah, but, I mean, it feels a bit weird holding them, but nothing horrible's happened yet.
In terms of... I mean, if you don't make an investigation roll, just to kind of study them.
Ooh, that is...
Hello.
That is 20, not a natural 20.
Which are you studying?
I will look at the easiest one to look at, the clean and shiny
The
one.
glimmering. Okay. First thing that strikes your eyes is you notice as you lift them, there's a scene from within the palms of each of these hands, as you've taken them, of anguish. Some kind of battle scene, almost.
What, in the carving of
in
the
the
hand?
in the palm where you've removed the swords from. There's some kind of battle scene. There's scenes of people dying. There's been scenes of horror and bipedal creatures killing and slaughtering. That's the first thing that draws your
I
attention.
mean, the place hasn't fallen down around us. I've taken them off the thing.
The second thing,
You're about to shit yourself.
Nothing's come to life and hit me yet.
the glimmering sword is particularly shiny. It's a brilliant silver. It's got some type of golden embellishment across the hilt, whether it's actual pure gold, you don't believe it is, but some kind of golden hilt, and then some red jewels at the end of the guard. In terms of but there's nothing written on it. The older sword is old and rusted through to the point where it's all the same colour. The handle's the same colour as the sword. It's an old brown sword that's got imperfections within it and looks like it's...
But they are essentially, apart from the corrosion, they are essentially identical.
very similar. Not identical. They're not got exactly the same shape.
Oh, okay.
There's differences in the hilt, but they're incredibly similar.
That buggers that theory then. Okay.
Could have spent some time in the sea.
I don't think we should carry these with us.
I think these were left here for us. I think we were meant to find these.
I mean,
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Excuse me?
Just discussing the wind.
Yeah.
If you're indeed right, we will find out soon enough. I will carry one if needs be.
Do you want to take one and I'll take one?
Okay. Are these light weapons or just standard weapons? What are they?
They are both long swords.
Okay. Thorin, I've never trained with a weapon like this. If I was to ever use it, I'd be useless. Are you any good with a sword?
I am proficient in a sword.
Then please carry this rusty sword. I don't know what worth it's going to be. It's magical.
It looks very, very not well looked after.
Can I drop this now? This seems ridiculous.
Could I have my hammer back?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I do take the sword.
A rusty sword, sir.
As soon as you take it, you also get this just unease as you hold it. Just, it's really hard to describe, but it's a sense of just unease.
Is the edge sharp?
It's sharp enough, despite the fact it's really rusted.
Yeah.
You could still treat it as a long sword in the same fashion as a normal long sword.
Well, I'll take the other one. I'm not proficient in long swords, but I will hold on to it for now.
Okay.
Maybe we're taking a brogue, somebody might be able to help identify him, possibly.
Well, yeah. And if not, I'm sure Nollis will...
He'll dual wield. He'll throw the shield.
Make great use. Okay. Should we
I
get out of here, of this creepy crypt, in the middle of the road?
How big is this, was that demon, this horned demon?
It was full size.
Was it full size?
So Phil was a good...
Can I etch his face? Can I get a rubbing of his face on a bit of paper?
Have you got some paper?
Maybe. Have I got any paper?
To rub
Have I got
with?
any paper?
Parchment. Oh, you gave your parchment away.
Do I give my parchment away?
I have ample parchment if you
Do
like.
you have parchment? And you might have to help me up. I might not be able to reach his full size.
I give you 1 metric parchment.
And a metric piggyback so I can get up there.
Of course.
Thank you. I will do that.
Okay.
Just maybe we get to town. Do you know this guy?
You weigh quite a lot, so can you hurry up?
I'm done. Sorry.
As you take this rubbing, what are you using to rub it?
Whatever Claire has given me. Charcoal, hopefully. Got a bit of name, got a charcoal.
Yeah.
You've been needed that for a long time. He's got a Crayola on
I
him.
spilt my ink. What have I got?
I'll
Tell you what, I'll give you some leaves from my herbalism kit. Get some sticky leaves so you get a bit of a green
I can get
rubbing.
a bit of mud from outside, something like that. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
How far back's the turd?
Quite
No,
a way.
no, thank you.
A few miles. Yeah.
I'm going to add rubbing
Okay, so
of...
you're taking rubbing.
Too far.
You notice it's kind of curled lips, big fangs, pointed nose. The eyes are relatively deep set. You almost push through and break the paper as you take it because it's quite
It's got hoops in its ears.
a way back.
It's wearing a metallic
You can
t-shirt.
get a little bit of its horn.
Okay.
That fills the parchment.
The hands that weren't holding the sword.
I think
like
you were
that.
doing a drawing there. What were you going to do?
Oh, no, I was just writing, so I remembered. It vaguely resembles then, this rubbing. You could...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, decent,
It's not
decent enough,
bloody awful.
easy to do.
Perfect. I roll it up in the
It's a
sack.
good disguise for later on when we encounter it.
It's not.
It's mummy.
Or in 5 minutes when we go to Broga. You don't know me.
When there are wanted posters everywhere.
Right, we're going to get out of there, Jack.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
I'll turn my page. Okay.
On a page.
Die Rolling, sponsored by Baby Bell.
And Thatcher's cider.
And Kit Kat Chunkies. Pick a chunky, anyone?
Product placement by us.
Oh, could you offer one to the camera like we're passing one? Just... Oh, there you go. There's a...
There's a Kit Kat Chunky.
Do you want one? Sure. There we go. Right.
That was a fade, subtle fade,
Oh.
and back to the waist.
Fell into the void for a second.
Who's the baby scaring? Porridge.
You get the demon
You enjoyed it
and
then.
you grind him up into a paste.
I think. Give me a quick. What's time, Stu?
Don't know.
It's 20 past 8.
Let's
It's
take a quick early break today, just because
Oh.
that was a natural little segue.
25 past 8.
Big plans for later, have we?
He wants to go twos and a Kit Kat. I'm going to go twos and a Kit Kat.
Well, no, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes here.
No, I can't eat them.
Please
okay.
converse with our wonderful
You turn into slime.
fans. Do a quick reading.
I'm not going to ask any questions. You're not going to ask any questions. But I would like to know your feedback on what the hell we just witnessed.
I wasn't going to answer any questions.
Yes, was taking the swords a good idea?
Yeah.
Was it a bad idea?
That was a good idea.
Oh, good.
Is listening to us eat Kit Kat Chunkies diabolical?
No. It's the best.
Jelly babies!
There's some jelly beans in here.
Jelly babies.
What's this?
Sorry, I'm
Okay.
reading the chat. This is rubbish streaming.
I've got a sheep. I've got a pink sheep.
Please
I don't
take
know
us
what to
through
say
the
about that.
foods of the table right now.
What we got in the nut bowl?
That's a mixture of dry roasted and honey roasted nuts.
And
with a mini baby bell for garnish.
oh yeah, I'm on the other side. Look at the top. Yeah, boom.
You're about to pour nuts all over
Nuts.
the table.
Don't know, Jack.
What do we have here? We have Haribo Super Mix. And what are these? Horrible rainbow candies.
Pop Puff. Pop Puff Rainbow.
What the hell are they called? Oh God, really?
I've got the packet over here.
What's going on with my
Rainbow
brain? I'm sleep deprived. Rainbow drops. That's
Rainbow drops. You can buy these for 10p. The reason they only
Still.
cost. They only cost.
Still.
I was in the garage. Yeah, 10p.
They were 10p 25 years ago.
Unlike a Freddo though, now that is frickin'. What's a Freddo these days? 30p.
25 pence for a Freddo.
Absolute disgrace that is.
25
Yeah.
pence for a Freddo.
Not even got caramel in the middle.
Oh,
Disgrace.
a little announcement of someone's birthday yesterday.
Fuck you.
Was it your
Happy birthday,
yesterday?
Zola.
I was hoping you would all forget.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We did forget the party hats.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Zola.
Wasn't Zolan's
So,
birthday?
how old is Zolan now? 100 and 200 and...
Oh, Zolan? No, he's over 350.
Whoa!
Where is he? I haven't got his.
And what would Zolan do on his birthday?
He would.
Sleep,
He would
probably.
ignore all of you.
So he's very much like
Oh,
you
fuck's
in real
sake.
life.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's beyond awesome.
Damn it! Why is this so
I feel like I might have ruined whatever Jack's about to do now.
Thank you, stage helper.
Yeah, thank you. Stage
Yeah,
hand.
buddy.
That's
Are you going
beautiful.
to put a hat on?
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
giving them out.
We can't avoid this. Please.
Thank you.
I would like the red one.
You scumbags.
I have a funny feeling this wasn't
I'll
designed
say
for
green.
beards.
Happy birthday
Oh, I feel bad
to
now.
you. This does not fit.
Just thought you weren't going to get a mention, that's all.
That's the way I like it, to be honest. I like.
Oh, mine's not got a string!
I only got a Reese.
It's alright, we've got some super
Dino
groups.
Splamoni.
Yeah, any
Beautiful.
Hey Arnold fans in the chat?
Hey Arnold.
So, you're a
Brilliant.
Hey Arnold fan, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I remember watching it. I don't remember being that much of a fan.
So you don't remember Dino Splamoni?
No, I don't.
I'm starting to think if this was the Mandela effect, or...
Yeah.
Dino
Was he real, or was this just a...
Was it in your mind? I did Google him after that.
Good.
Do you guys remember Hey Arnold? He had like a American football.
He had a
as
football
a
head, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. I was more of an Arthur guy.
I was thinking
Hey
exactly
Arthur.
the same
Yeah.
thing, Hey Arthur.
Every day when you're walking down the street. It was a good show.
Oh, mine's
You're
broke. I need a new hat.
so horribly young.
You can have
What
that.
was your TV show of choice?
The Archers. Stu.
A TV show. We used to watch the radio.
There was no TV in Stu's
When I was young, before the days of televisual entertainment, we all sat round the old piano radio,
The Archers.
warming ourselves on the valves.
Listening to Warm the World.
So yeah, we shouldn't have grabbed the demonic swords, but it's very in character, so it was well.
No, it was good. Good choice.
The whole place didn't come down round our ears. The
what
demon
they
didn't
do.
reach out and rip my head off.
Can you imagine it if there was?
So
Mrs. Trash Panda, I do not have identify, so I cannot work out what the weapons are.
Ooh,
because
no.
you'll quickly learn that that's not the kind of character I'm playing.
No.
I don't have useful
It is.
spells like that.
I was
Things
going-
that set things on fire, yes.
I was going to
have
get
one
it,
of
and
those.
I read ritual next to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess obviously someone familiar with a ritual, you know how hard it is to get the materials to perform these rituals.
Yeah.
yeah, how much? Charcoal?
Yeah.
10 GPs worth of
I
charcoal.
was out of character. Like, yeah, I'm not prepared.
Oh, why'd you write Darkwing Duck? I fucking love
Ooh.
Darkwing Duck.
Who's Darkwing?
Darkwing Duck.
Was Daffy Duck as a crime fighter? He was basically Daffy Duck as Batman.
Yeah.
Is it right?
And I had the Darkwing Duck video game on my Game Boy, my
Did you?
original
Oh, yeah, and a
grey,
NES.
yeah, chunky Game Boy.
Talking about old like crime scene cartoons. As a kid, I'm sure I used to watch something called Sharky and George.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
So
classic.
people,
George,
every time I
the
talk to
crime
people
busters
about it,
of
they're
the
like,
deep.
"What's that? I've never heard of
and
that."
George,
One of
the
the-
sort of mending mystery.
Exactly this
One
one,
of
yeah.
the best shows on
Sharky
TV.
and George, yeah. Nobody knew about it. And I thought maybe I dreamt it, and I was like, well, I need to produce that if that was the case, that this was in my head.
I feel like I used to watch that on a Saturday morning, sat in my PJs when I was about 7.
I used to watch it when I was 17.
Nice.
Sat in my PJs.
You watched it yesterday on your birthday.
I didn't know.
I had the same thing with the MC Hammer cartoon.
That wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a
talking
Hammer
shoes.
cartoon?
And it definitely did happen. I've been validated.
Talking
But I-
shoes.
Yeah. I spent a good 10 years of my life just thinking I was insane.
Yeah.
you
That's kind
think
of
that-
depressing.
You think that's bad? I mean, the cartoons of my childhood were things like Jamie and the Magic Torch,
What's that?
which was a little boy called Jamie who had a magic torch that
go
opened
figure.
up portals into another world. And he
Right.
went there with his talking dog, Wordsworth.
Okay.
These are the sort of things that you
Did
wake
he fight
up one
demons
morning.
in the other
No,
in
no,
the
it was-
ethereal plane? Or?
No,
Yeah.
it was 1970s children's TV. There wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of demon fighting.
Yeah.
It was more sort of
Grown
helping
men.
somebody deliver the mail and things like that.
That is horrifying. That's like what's the show with the watch
Bernard's Watch!
Terrible.
Oh, what was they had one called the Queen's Nose? Was that right? When they had a coin.
Three wishes.
Awful
But
show.
Bernard, I want to see Bernard's Watch like 20 years later. I want to see Bernard as a crime fighter.
Nah.
Like
He would just be doing the lotto every day, wouldn't he? Just rolling back.
It'd be like
numbers.
One Punch Man. He'd be
He
really
would.
depressed, wouldn't he? He's like, well, I can just pause time.
Did anyone remember that BBC show when they had that like alien spacecraft? It was a normal
Aquila.
show. Is that what it was
Aquila.
called? Aquila, yeah. And they had this random like ball that they used to get into and just
And it could go
zoom across.
invisible. It was a Roman spacecraft.
A Roman spacecraft.
Yeah.
Oh, the Caesar invented it.
Classic Aquila.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Would
Hello, Jack.
you like to join in, Jack?
I
Yeah,
bet of
we got
all
one
the
for you.
things you expected to see when you walked into this room, you didn't expect to see us.
Oh, Animaniacs. Yes.
It's time for Animaniacs.
Short ones with
You know,
straps.
we need
to the max.
You know what was really good in the
Who brought
90s?
party hats?
The
Emma must have
X-Men
made it
animated
worse.
series.
Was it Emma?
Yeah,
Happy
just,
birthday, Rich.
she just
I-
turned
Happy
up.
I've
birthday.
missed most of that.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
it was really
I kind
good.
of thought you
I
were
liked the
preparing a
silly
cake for a
cartoons,
second.
like Animaniacs.
Next year,
Tasmania.
Oh,
Okay.
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
Oh, it's
Good.
been streaming gold since you've been gone.
No, I don't doubt that, Carl.
We've just been talking.
Since you've been
crap.
gone. Since you've been gone.
Bingo.
I'm out of my head. Can't take it. Could I
Should
be
we
wrong?
return?
But since
You
you've been
after
gone-
Have some of
this
these
hat on
delicious nuts
for-
temporarily.
Oh, Danger Mouse.
Danger. Have you seen any of the new ones?
No.
Yeah, they've done a reboot, a Danger Mouse reboot, and it is actually
Jesus.
really good.
Is it?
It's as good as the old ones.
I've never watched Danger Mouse, but I do own Danger Mouse socks. There was a present from last year. No socks this year. Highly disappointing.
Danger Mouse is one of the best cartoons ever produced anyway.
Yeah.
Adventure Time is
Oh no, Danger Mouse.
Pinnacle
Danger Mouse
and SpongeBob.
takes a great
SpongeBob
big
Adventure
dump
Time.
over the top of
the Pinnacle.
Adventure Time.
I'm
Dungeons
into
and
that.
Dragons.
One punch!
At the moment. That's
So
mine.
good.
That's mine. Right, we're back.
Oh, the hat's coming off now.
No.
It's coming off.
No.
I've done enough celebrating.
Well, we'll celebrate for you.
It's not a party hat. I'm not playing RuneScape. It's not worth millions.
You magically imbued my hat, please.
I can imbue it with enhanced defense.
Okay.
Gives you
Leave the
one.
mausoleum. We're back. What are we doing?
Continuing in.
Swinging the sword.
You got
No,
your
I can't-
arm.
I can't-
I just can't take you
I
seriously as
can't,
Dungeon
I
Master.
can't get into the mood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it while it lasted.
Yeah.
It was good.
That
You
was
don't want to join?
Okay.
Oh, you do.
I wouldn't dare take yours.
I'll
but-
put it back in the.
Okay.
I'll wear that on the cycle. On the cycle home.
This is it now.
Malcolm, I think we should continue east towards Broga.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I think we should continue east towards Broga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have,
I will,
do we have a plan for Broga?
I don't know what we're
I'm a little
doing
wary
with
of
Broga.
human
Well, I thought we'd
settlements.
just march up to the gate and demand that they let us in.
Given that we've come across this and that there was a note addressed directly, I assume directly to us, or at least people of Weirdwit, I think we're going in the right direction.
I am a little fuzzy on the details of our original mission. Who were we saving? Who was oppressed again?
The world.
Just the whole world was oppressed.
Yeah.
Just all the people.
Yep.
We're hoping to save your forest in the long
Yeah.
run. And by we, I mean the people of Weirdwit and not myself.
We're heading to Broga to see if we can find some solution to this weirdness that is overtaking all the animals in the area, thereby doing good in general.
And Jingo was his name, eh?
And Jingo was
Virtue.
his name. Oh.
You've done a bit of sage, haven't you?
I did! I can't,
A
yeah.
line of sage.
A little bit. Gets me ready in the
Take one
morning.
of them off.
Oh, I've got a long way to go.
Badoo's got his crystal ball. He's
He does,
seeing
yeah.
us all. He's like, oh,
Good
sage.
lads.
Could we please, Jack?
Yeah,
You
sorry.
continue east.
Thank you.
East.
Hurrah.
This ground is getting claggier underfoot. It's now becoming almost slightly muddy in places. Almost. Just softer ground, anyway. You continue on slightly slower going as well because it's not as easy underfoot. You stumble a couple of times. It's a bit more arduous. You're dirty now in the lower half of your...
What time of the day are we looking at by now?
We're around midday. Approaching
Walking a
midday.
long time.
Kind of about lunchtime. You're probably hungry as you're travelling. If you have any rations, you might decide to consume some.
Maybe.
I've got this old dead rodent from the forest.
I'll open my
We
rations.
still got that.
Yeah.
You can all kind of smell it on him a bit. Bit of a smell. Also,
No, we can't because we're all completely still overwhelmed by the smell of gently rotting hyena.
yeah, that's there as well.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's there.
No, that was well cured. I'm a pro at that. I haven't got rotting hyena on my sleeves.
You really? It's not what it smells like.
You keep your eyes to the north slightly as you're travelling, still wary of whether these creatures can be found anywhere around. And after another few miles, continuing to the east, quite a warm day, a whiff of smoke cuts through the soggy, earthy undertones,
You smell smoke.
piquing your interest. Scanning the horizon,
Yes.
Scanning the horizon, you sense the remnants of a pale grey plume, which gently meanders a few hundred feet in front of you. Adjacent stand two long, thin struts in silhouette, forming a 20-foot-high triangular structure which leans unnaturally towards the smoke. As you near its source, it becomes apparent that the smoke is emanating from beneath ground level. And the leaning triangle is actually a sturdy wooden machine of sorts, with heavy ropes tightly pinning it to the earth, preventing it from toppling into a steep pit below. Approaching the brink, Thorinir, your ears prick up first, as you detect faint voices. You concentrate on maintaining your footing in the slippery mud, wary that just in front of you the ground slopes downwards almost 90 degrees for at least 50 feet.
Jeez.
Surf it.
Finally, staring over the precipice, you see a remarkable hodgepodge, a sunken town nestled within an expansive circular basin. Amid a hive of activity, lights flicker from windows, smoke bellows from chimneys, and people scatter the muddy ground. This is what you're looking at in front of you.
Is the this mechanism, is it a sort of like a ski lift type thing?
Gondola.
You probably have to walk just a little bit closer to it to have a look at it if you want to do so.
Quite steep here, mind, Malcolm. You're a bit heavy-footed.
Just as you say that,
Roll a dexterity.
can you give me a dexterity
saving
saving throw?
You're not helping. Ooh,
That looked like single figures.
You're high in dex, right?
I am, yeah, that's 16.
It's a bit slippy here, and the mud starts to slide from underneath Malcolm's feet. You manage to grab onto the side, and as his patch of mud is slipping, it's almost an avalanche type of effect as the earth that you are all standing on starts to slide from underneath you as well. Malcolm, you managed to steady yourself. Can you all give me dexterity saving throws, please?
10.
13.
17.
Okay. Can Claro, you feel yourself start to go and the earth underneath you starts to slide and you're scrabbling, trying to find some grip, but you can't. You start to slide, and before any of your friends can react to stop you because they're busy saving themselves, you start to slide down this steep bank, this precipice. Can you make a strength saving throw to try and slow yourself?
It's 13.
13. You dig your fingers in as hard as you can
Dagger in.
into the side, and your dagger into the side of this earth, trying to slow yourself. You can slow yourself a little, but it's falling from within you.
Yeah.
There's no way you can stop yourself. As you fall, you've taken a 50-foot, very steep slide, slowing yourself as you come down. You're going to take 6 bludgeoning damage as you hit the floor hard. You manage to probably fall the whole way, apart from maybe the last 15 feet where you just drop solely onto the ground, onto your butt. The three of you are still at the top, still all stood as wide and flat as you can, trying to steady yourselves. And you've just seen Claro slide down the bank.
Was it a cliff edge? You've just seen him go off a cliff.
You've just seen him basically go off this very steep. It's not quite 90 degrees, but you're talking probably a 70-degree steep bank right the way whole around this almost crater which this town sits within.
So this puts me in the town.
You are literally in this town down the bottom. You've kind of landed. Probably your head's in the mud.
Have made an entrance.
Quite discombobulated, certainly for 10 seconds or so.
What can I see around me?
As you look down, it's very alarming to you all. As you look around you, the town's architecture is quite unlike anything that you've seen. You see a regular...
It's blurred for a start.
timber-framed, brown clay huts, which rise precariously 3 feet off the ground on narrow wooden stilts, embedded deep in this soft, wet mud. The muddy bog is at least a foot deep in places here. It's a good squelch when you landed, which probably broke some of your fall as well. Each downward step as you lift yourself and try and take your first step brings a wet, gurgling sound and a soft squelch on the uplift.
Are there platforms out of the mud or anything that I can see where I can get out of this stuff?
So all of the platforms as such are buildings. So these buildings are all kind of on stilts around this town. But you do notice, one of the first things you notice as you're looking up at this architecture is a group of probably 8-9 children who saw you fall.
Oh, embarrassing.
Just laughing.
I'm gonna have to kill him.
all around them, just laughing. One of them takes a handful of mud and throws it at you. Hits you in the side.
Does it, Jack? I don't get a reaction to that.
Doesn't hit you in the side. But it lands near you.
Okay, cool.
And they're laughing.
Were you ready to smite some children then?
Magic is banned. Magic is banned. I've got to remember that bit. I will just crawl over to where these kids are, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing at this
We
point?
can't see Claro's destination.
You can see him.
We
You've
can.
seen that he really struggled. You can see he's alive, but that was a heck of a fall.
I'm going to just shout at him. Claro! You okay?
I'm muddy. I'm a little sad.
You should have tread better.
This contraption, is there any way of getting hold of it and lowering ourselves down without a slithery, splatty type hurtiness?
Try and find another way down. This is a bad idea this way.
So
I'll meet you in town.
As you go over to it, from where you are, you can see it's a sort of lift. It's pulley operated, and the platform seems to be right down on the ground where Claro is at the moment. But there's...
Claro, we found a lift!
The children are still laughing. They're just in hysterics. One of them is laughing over the top, really, really laughing his head off. And then just at that point, and they're still kind of throwing mud at you and blowing raspberries and
Throw some mud at them.
Throwing baby bells at me.
As that's happening, you notice from outside the nearest building to where you are, you notice a lady walk out of this building quite quickly, and you just for a moment spot that she's wearing what looks to be some kind of porcelain mask. And she walks out, she notices you, she walks straight past where the children are, and they just kind of scatter away from her. And they just suddenly stop laughing and just kind of run off. One of them takes one last look at you and smiles, but they just scatter. She walks through, doesn't pay too much attention, kind of puts her head down and continues on.
I would like to get to their location, so I'm out of the mud.
Okay, so being out of the mud, kind of from what you can see immediately around you, requires you being in one of these buildings that's around you, because it's the only kind of platform, as it were. Yeah. So the nearest one is the one that this lady just came out of. Yeah. There is a kind of porch, as it were, in the front of it.
I'll go there.
And as
risk it for a biscuit.
The building, unlike the other ones that you can see immediately around you, seems to be one of the only painted buildings. The others seem to be wood, natural wood. And it's quite clean as well, whereas there's mud right up the sides of all the other buildings. It seems to be relatively well preserved. It's single story, and it's painted kind of a moss green colour. And you notice a sign written in common, which says Galoshes, and, in brackets, Foragers' Supplies. Devoted to the fine humans of Broga, exemplary Broga quality and prices, half price on all packs and kits.
Okay. Head on in.
At the same moment, you guys are at the top still.
Start hauling on the rope to bring the platform up.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be a really obvious way for you to be able to bring the platform up from where you are.
Ah.
How far down was the drop?
50 feet.
Ooh. It's quite a lot of feet.
Yeah, and as you stare down, it seems quite clear that the operating wheel at the bottom, which drives these pulleys, is controlled from the ground.
Ah. Right.
Don't worry. Looks like Claro's forgotten us. So I'm going to open the sack and I pull out 3 caps. They look a little bit like the cap that I'm wearing, except they've got a propeller on the cap. And I'll tell you to put them on. And then I jump. I put mine on and I jump. And unfortunately, you've all been cast Featherfall, so you will have no fall damage. So I've left you 2 caps. Mine's on, and I jump like Mary Poppins. We haven't got the umbrella.
That's amazing.
We've just got this spinning hat.
Is that a cantrip of yours?
It's not. It's a first level spell.
Is it?
Yeah, got it for level 3.
And you can make it on 3.
Yeah, I believe I can choose.
I
can choose like up to 6. I think.
Okay.
Let me find it. I'll clarify that for you.
Yeah, we'll take your word.
22.
Yeah. So
Brilliant. There you go.
let's just quickly check this one to make sure that the 2 of you don't just follow him and descend at a much rapider speed.
Yeah, it's all right for somebody his size.
Yeah.
He gently glides down. We more plummet.
Yes.
I don't have things.
The chat is incredible. I
I've got
won't
it.
be. People are literally like, what the fuck are you doing?
Or jumping in.
Yeah, as you Mary Poppins down. And people
Yeah.
are like, hang on, I thought magic was outlawed.
Well, you.
We're about to make one hell of an entrance to this place.
You've left us up there.
No one's reminded
Where's...
Thorny that it's outlawed. I'm used to throwing leaves around and stuff now.
Right, where are we? Feather fall. Choose up to 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet.
Bet you wish you had one
And then
of
the
these.
spell ends
Yeah.
for that creature.
Excellent.
So as soon as we touch the ground, the spell's over.
Fantastic.
As
So-
I float down, I take out the bright silver sword in one hand and my staff in the other hand. If I'm going to make an entrance, I'm going to make
Got
an
the sun at your
entrance.
back.
Oh, yes. I always look best when you get from
Screaming.
behind.
And you all descend, and you're all following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Just
I shout, make sure you do your chin strap up.
Yeah.
I want to jump and the hat falls.
3 little.
Malcolm plummets into the ground below as the hat gently wafts
Yeah,
through.
I'm the last one, but I'm watching in awe.
Excellent.
Magnificent, isn't it?
So quite excited. That's a fan art, please, on that one,
That
guys.
is a fan art.
So a fantastic scene as the 3 of you don't witness this because you've just walked in the shop. Fantastic scene as your 3 friends float down to the ground with their propeller hats. Quite an experience for you two as well. I don't know what you're like with heights, but it's, you
I've
know,
never flown.
It's the first time I've done this. It's quite an experience for me as well.
yeah.
It's just occurred to me actually that we're suspended with the entire weight of our bodies on a small chin strap.
Even longer neck.
It's quality materials. made with quality materials.
So you'll gently fall to the ground.
I'm picturing myself making this grand entrance like this, but in actual fact, I'm going.
Come on!
Plummet.
How many feet did it take before that fell off?
Last couple of feet. I'm alright.
Sure.
And you fall to the ground. It's quite it's an unbelievable experience. You've never done anything at all like this. It's remarkable. So,
got any of these for getting us back up?
No, I'm afraid. I'll take the hats back and remind us that pretend like that's completely normal.
Yeah, that's
in the bag.
That's damn fine bag you've got there.
Just, pretend that never happened.
As you just kind of jump over the edge here, you probably just about notice where Claro's gone.
Muddy footprints.
Yeah, you notice him disappearing into this building.
Follow him into the building.
So Claro, you're in first. Inside,
You right, Clara?
you see he's probably not quite up with him yet. Not quite. Inside, you see an array of fine trousers, with a particular focus on long, durable-looking galoshes.
What's it got?
There's many foraging
I'm going to
supplies,
Google one.
lamps, traps, baskets,
Googling
etc.
galoshes?
I don't know what a galosh is, yeah.
Hang on,
I got
hang
baby
on
boots.
large hooks above a small, oddly slanted wooden counter. One of the feet seems to have just be totally missing from the counter, and it's at an awkward angle. Above this counter, on these hooks, are a number of kits and packs, and on each one is affixed a label that says 50% off, and each one describes the products. So at a quick glance you can see explorers packs, healers kits, climbers kits above above this store desk.
Is anyone behind a counter?
After just a moment, a man steps in, hearing the noise. Hello.
Hi.
He has a very well groomed moustache that just flicks up at each end, a dark brown
You just knew
moustache.
he had, with a voice like that, you knew he had a moustache like that.
He's got a small goatee beard as well. He has
The devil.
brown hair tied back in a ponytail and long brown sideburns, chiselled, an attractive man, well groomed and strong jawline, strong nose. Wearing some fine clothing, a green jacket, a white strung up the middle shirt with fancy sleeves, and a remarkably nice pair of trousers.
I hate him already.
I'm very muddy.
You need a galosh.
I walked into his shop.
You look like you could use some galoshes, my friend.
I'm sorry, I've got no money. My friends carry the money. Goodbye, and he just turns around and leaves.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a situation he's comfortable with.
As you exit the room,
Yeah.
your friends are just there next to you, wearing very unusual propeller hats.
You can't help but notice that we're not covered in shit.
Mud. It's not shit, it's mud.
Probably about both.
Looks like shit.
As you can tell by the sign, this is a shop for trousers.
I've already got trousers.
As do I. Malcolm, do you have trousers?
I have trousers. I do not need any trousers, but it might be useful to find out the lie of the land, sort of.
Yeah, I'll ask him. He turns around and goes back in. This man's still behind the...
He is, yeah.
Do you know Jingo?
He puts his hand on the counter and it just rocks a bit. Jingo.
Halfling, about that tall.
We don't have halflings here. This is a human town. He's kind of drumming his fingers on the desk.
Yeah, Clary kind of, closes his eyes a little bit at this guy. He's never had a good time with humans, except from Malcolm. He's about the nicest human he's ever met.
We haven't been arrested at the gate, that's one thing.
Yeah, so far.
Are you three outside still at the moment?
I think so, yeah.
I'm just trying to get the secrets of your hat.
I'm going to.
You're trying to get in, but I'm trying to.
You're walking out.
the shop.
Yep. And you two are just outside.
Talking
and
hats,
you two are
yeah.
walking in. Okay, fine. Good afternoon.
Illusions.
Hi there. We're
Again, he's kind of looking down at the desk again, just distracted by it.
Thank you, sir.
problem with your desk. You seem to be missing a chunk out of your
He
desk.
turns his face, and for the first time you notice just a scar across his cheek. Quite a an old-looking scar. It's not recent. It's a scar from however long ago, but it's the first thing that you notice, apart from these, and then these remarkable trousers that he's wearing. Really nice. They're some of the nicest trousers all around you in this room.
I didn't read that
Wonderful.
Twitter post. Whatever you said about trousers.
Wonderful
Good beer.
trousers.
Was there a trouser?
Yeah, we're new in town. I was just wondering if you could direct us towards a tavern or an inn.
How did you come about Broga, might I ask? He's kind of looking. He's looking
mentioning the magic
around.
flying hats.
Claire is
possibly
touching
not
some of the
best
trousers
advice.
with muddy hands.
Not
Can
the
you not
best
touch those? Thank you. They're quite expensive.
Reassuring.
Reassuringly expensive.
We're here looking for a friend of ours, a halfling.
I just told your friend that this is a human town. We do not have halflings here.
No, okay.
Was there a back room that he came out of?
It doesn't look like it's a second room. It looks like it's almost an alcove just slightly around the corner, which
Yeah.
who knows what's there, but
Storm.
Claire starts walking around there.
not around here. It's kind of almost behind the desk where it
Yeah.
is.
No, that's fine.
Please stay in the front.
Okay.
I've just noticed the trousers. I'll have a little chuckle because they look ridiculous.
You notice he looks at you for a moment. Are you in sight?
I would have probably come in with.
So you are in.
May have just entered, I'm going to say.
Yeah, we were in
Yeah,
the doorway
just
as
entered.
per usual.
Although he is looking at you in a way that he wasn't looking at you two.
Oh. That would be the gnome and
Can
the
I help
elf.
you?
Hello?
Hello.
Are you okay?
Are you?
I don't have any trousers that fit you.
I'm not here looking for trousers.
Well, you're in the wrong shop, might I say. This is Galoshes. We have the finest galoshes and trousers.
What, sir, is a galosh?
Please look around you. And he takes a step out from the desk. And he just stands there proudly with his hands on his hips and just legs akimbo slightly. And you see a very relatively tight pair of...
Let's just stop there.
of a slightly... They're a black galosh, which is like a full leg... He's got a full leg boot on each side, which comes almost all the halfway up his thigh on either
Platform on
side.
that.
Relatively flat, but they've got a marvellous sheen to them. They're a striking pair of boots.
What's a galosh?
So you look like
Bloody clue.
What's a galosh?
like you may once have been a military man.
What makes you say that?
Well, your
Chin.
general bearing and
You have a keen eye. Yes, perhaps I was.
Yeah,
Were you?
He's learned.
I was many years ago.
For whom did you serve?
Touching trousers in the background.
Yeah, doing the same.
Long way from here. You wouldn't know.
Wouldn't I?
I don't think so.
Okay. Listen. What are you?
Do I offend you?
I'm curious.
Just a small man.
A small man.
Not a halfling, just a small man.
He is actually chuckling.
Oh, that's fine. That's all right.
I've never seen a man quite as small as you.
I am, yeah.
He's very old.
Yeah.
Shrunk in the wash.
It's all in the hunch, yeah. Hunched over. And my height's gone.
Remarkable.
Clara leaves because he doesn't want to set anything on fire.
Was it like that, is it?
Yeah. So he's just outside.
Yeah. So I said, yeah. Yes. Sorry, we're not really in the market for your very fine trousers. And,
Well, you could certainly do with them. It's muddy here, especially you. And you certainly would have realised as you were walking, this mud is almost waist height to you if you were to
Got any
sink.
weight?
Oh, right. Oh.
You had to move quite quickly and
I know,
light-footed to not sink.
He's like some Wallace and Gromit trousers. They're like
Yeah.
galoshes that
Mud
come up
boat.
to his nipples.
I'm sure that's true, but I think we find ourselves somewhat financially embarrassed at the moment. But like I said, could you point us in a direction of an inn or a tavern where we might find a room for the night?
It's an inn you're after. It's an inn. It's an inn you're after, is it? Well, if you look for the tall building just over the way, the tallest one, the narrow building, the smoke coming from it, you'll find the Fluming Burden.
Oh, blimey.
Marvellous.
I wouldn't grace it myself, but perhaps for you.
I imagine he's a glass of wine with a cat kind of guy on his own. He wouldn't go to the pub.
No.
He'd be in the place we were cooking in episode
Oh,
6
sure,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Not the baby scaring.
Not the baby scan. Cool.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
outside, so
Thank you very much for your time.
Good day, and if you need some galoshes,
I know where to come.
you know where to come.
How much are a pair? I think they're magnificent when I've seen them. How much are they?
Well, how much do you have?
How much are the child's pair? This isn't a negotiation. I'm asking for the price.
Well, there are a few gold pieces.
Only a few? I'll think about it.
His lip kind of curls, just slightly on this side.
Will it? I'm going to try and strut out like I'm better than him. Really proudly walk off. Turn on my heel.
Make him roll with that. Come on.
Just shaking his head.
Storm out.
what did you think of that man, Zolan?
Twat.
I agree.
We'll burn his house down later.
Ixnay on the earning bay.
On the way out, send one over.
One of the next things that you notice as you head back out into this town, you see these stilted buildings all around. You see children in different places. There's certainly some people looking in your direction.
Do they like pop out of the mud and then they're like, back down the
It's funny you mention that. Funny you mention that. Because as you look again at this mud, getting ready to step in it again, it's not the most pleasant for all of you. You notice a number of creatures that are in the mud. Lots of brown. Well, it's tricky to tell if it's brown from the mud or if they're actually brown.
I thought you were
Brown.
blue elves.
Hey guys, it's Merlin. Jeepers.
Kind of spotted 3 or 4 inch little fish or reptilian-like creatures which are jumping up and down in the mud, just all around you.
But they're not attacking us.
They're not attacking you at present, no.
Not yet.
That makes a change.
That's cool.
Do we have to walk through the mud? They haven't put
There's no
pathways
path.
and planks. I'm going back to the shop. I'm not walking through this mud.
Okay.
I'm heading back in quick. Now I've realised that I have to wade through this.
Yeah.
I'm in for some galoshes.
Sure.
You didn't know what they were 5 minutes ago, but now you
Now I
realise
do,
they're
yeah.
essential.
Yeah, they are. In this place, they are essential.
Well, I'm only wearing sandals over bare feet, so I don't really care.
You don't wear any underwear, do you? You're going to have muddy
No.
balls.
You
Which way are we going,
I
Malcolm?
would have thought
So-
most people
Hang on, let's
don't
wait
wear
for Zolan.
underwear in this place, right?
Why
In
do?
this world, there's no underwear in the forest.
Isn't there?
No.
Oh, we're underwear.
Have you gone in with Zolan?
No, I don't need underwear. He
Come
wasn't
back
selling
in.
underwear, was he?
No, he sells galoshes.
I thought his trousers were silly.
Well, no.
Very
I'd-
silly.
Little man.
I've realised I'd love a pair of your galoshes.
Would you?
I would, yes.
Well, I'd have to. Maybe.
Do you have anything that would just about fit
He's kind of.
child's?
He just goes. He kind of walks, turns around, and walks back behind you. Again, you notice just this slanted desk.
Kick it over.
There's a small.
I'm here to do
Um,
business.
You also notice a little black key that's on the desk with a little small leather strap attached to it, and he kind of turns back into the alcove and just rummages around there just for a moment. You can just hear him just generally ferreting around.
Don't have to steal it now.
Oh, you're well associated with ferrets.
I might have something. And he returns back out. I have these, and he's holding a what look like knee-length version of the same
Yeah.
trousers that he's wearing. This was a design I was experimenting with
Do they
for
work?
warmer days
Oh.
in shallower mud.
Will they fit me? Functionality
He
is all I'm
passes
looking for.
he passes them over to you, and they do look reasonably well suited to you. They're all the way up to your groin almost. You'd have
Oh,
to.
nice, yeah.
They're longer than they are designed to be, but you could probably just about put them on. They're a little big in the toe.
I'm going to walk to the centre of the room,
Mm-hmm.
and do a spin and ask how I look.
Fantastic.
Why am I doing this
I'm chuckling from the doorway.
Where
Yes.
Bart puts the high heels
I'll
on and
take
that.
them! How much?
This is my favourite.
How much, sir?
2 gold pieces.
2 gold. I'm not even going to negotiate with you. This is well worth the money. I need your name. What's your name, sir?
Forward.
Foad?
Forward Galak.
Foad? Foad.
Forward Galak. This is Galak's Galoshes.
Well, Foad.
We also sell explorers packs, healers kits, and climbers kits.
Climbers kits might be useful.
We sell
We left the
traps.
pitons.
We sell foraging supplies. What else is it you're after, strange little man?
How much is your healer's kit and climbing kit?
Funny you should ask. They're all half price right now. And he points to the label that's affixed with this brown twine to each of these kits. Which did you ask about? Sorry.
Healers and climbers.
Well, the healer's kit would normally be 5 gold pieces, but today, just today, little man, it is just 2.5 gold pieces.
Malcolm sticks his head round the corner of the shop and looks in. What are you up to?
How do I look, Malcolm?
Wow.
I'm going to do a spin for you as well.
Oh yeah, they look great.
And the climbers kits, they're normally 25 gold pieces, but today only, to you, little man, they are 12 pieces.
Did you say you had healers kits?
We do. We have all kinds of supplies here. We have 5 healers kits available presently.
5. I'll take a healer's kit. 2.5.
Will
did I hear
you?
say?
Where have you come from, did you say?
We came from Callus.
Callus.
Galosh.
I see. And do you work in Callus?
No, we were just passing through.
I see.
Malcolm manages to say this with a dead straight face.
Yeah.
Not a hint of a titter.
And you work for the army in Callus?
No, that was a long time ago. My military career, long time ago.
We still have no town guard, you realise,
Really?
despite the
Perfect.
protection tax that we pay to Callus.
We're going to kill someone for
Pay
once.
protection tax.
Yes. You protect us, apparently. And in return, well,
No, I don't work.
extortion, that's what it is.
Sounds like it. No, I don't have any connection with Callus.
Now we have raiders coming to the town, stealing our supplies.
Raiders.
Raiders, really? Tell me more about these raiders.
Tell me more, tell me more.
Well, did they have swords? They have been killing our government.
Killing the government.
And Callus? The soldiers? Where are they?
Dead.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, from what we saw last time we were there, Callus is having a few difficulties of its own.
Oh yes.
Yeah. They've got some issues with trade going on there.
Yes. I know.
What was the name of those elves?
The High Elves.
Yeah.
Just called High Elves.
I've written down Lord Osmium.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
He was the lord that was angry about the cloth shipment.
that's right. Yes.
Gotta write this shit
Lord of the
down.
Cloth.
They've had some problems with Lord Osmium. Name ring any bells with you?
No, some elf, I assume.
Yeah, apparently so.
He's a human.
Was he the golden man?
Didn't write that bit down.
We are but mere
Interesting.
chefs.
So, these raiders
Yes.
cause a lot of problems around here, do they?
A lot of problems, yes.
Okay.
And Galosh is supposed to help us, and our government, meanwhile, well, you can see for yourself at Broga Hall.
We'll drop into Broga Hall.
Oh,
while
please
we're here.
do. Yes, it'll be a wonderful
Yeah.
experience for you.
Clara leans in the door and goes, Will we, Malcolm? Will we? Or are we just going to buy silly trousers?
No,
I'm going to pirouette for you. Silly!
They are very silly.
God, I'm going to pay the man. I haven't paid yet.
2.5 gold pieces.
With a healer's kit, please.
And a healer's kit.
Please, yes, I will take
Quite
the
the
healer's kit
wealthy
as well.
group, aren't you? Please, you are welcome here again.
What are these little gold things? I have a few of these. I gained a few.
This is called currency. Thorinir.
Are you an elf?
No.
Make a deception check.
Very persuasive.
No.
No.
I love it. You roll a 20. It's like, yep, fair enough.
It's 14.
That's pretty good.
No?
No.
How are your ears exposed at the moment?
They are under my hair because when I took the hat off, it just kind of went whoop.
Okay. You look a little elfy, that's all.
Healthy,
I was
elfy.
going to say, most of the time he looks fairly unhealthy.
To be honest, I'm a little malnourished at the moment. I probably look a bit pointy and thin.
And you have sticks in your hair.
Oh, what an embarrassment! And a bit of mud on my face.
What must you think?
Strange bunch at Callus, aren't you all? Anyway,
Guys, I'm going to burn something.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a healer's kit,
okay.
2.5.
He takes another one down off the hook.
Is it this
2.5 gold pieces for you today, sir.
Thank
Pleasure
you
doing
very
business with you. Can I interest you in some galoshes?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
They're great, Malcolm. They're so
Yeah.
supportive. Oh, Galax galoshes!
Is that your receipt?
Oh, brilliant! I look so fabulous. I've got a +1 to persuasion checks.
Oh, really? That's how good you
Who's
are.
got stupid galoshes now?
You do.
I'm going to be strutting around this town now.
Brilliant.
Right, I'm just checking the healer's kit has a 10 charge, I believe. You might want to mark that down, that you can use it 10 times. Check for you.
Okay, we're going to head for the tavern then.
Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
They have baths there.
Good day, Galak.
It's been a long time since I've had a bath, actually.
Yes.
But does it cost this currency?
Good day.
Yeah, sorry. Thorin, we'll talk about currency tonight.
I got
At the end.
yeah.
Sure.
I'll explain all.
As you
The chef gave me some. The waiter gave me some currency.
leave the shop, just across this.
Yeah, we got some money off of when we did the meal, didn't we?
I'm sure you added. Did you not add it to your?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I've got it on here.
How much did you get?
I've got 6, but I don't know if I had any to start with.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As you leave the shop, you notice sort of a clearing where a number of buildings are around in front of you. Again, still people walking around busying themselves. A few people have similar types of galoshes and longer trousers so as to protect their clothing.
You'd think they'd have made some walkways.
People are walking quite freely. And for the first time you notice a couple of things in the centre of this area. The first one is a larger, more obvious fish-like creature. Again, slightly fishy, slightly reptilian, but it's larger than the previous creatures that were just jumping up and down in the mud. And it's a big, bloated, fat, great thing. Probably almost just over half a foot or so. Maybe, and as it swells a little bit when it breathes out, kind of grows almost to a foot. It's this big mass. It's an ugly fish-like creature. It's kind of pure grey with two little beady eyes. It's just kind of sat there in the middle of the mud.
I'm going to sort of poke it with the end of my stick.
Okay. As you kind of poke it, the second you do so, it just sinks itself into the mud with a big wet squelch.
I love that word.
How'd you like it if he poked you with a stick?
Well, I'd probably squelch at it too.
You notice some children, again, there's quite a few children about. You know, some children just kind of peeking around corners, just a couple of them kind of pointing and whispering generally at your group.
Could Claro approach the children? Like some of the children that are...
You can
Is
walk,
that a good idea?
yeah, you can try and walk towards them.
Don't burn them.
Are you just strolling in a normal fashion?
You haven't got a sword on you, have you?
He's got a knife.
Oh.
It's very passive.
Your characters don't have great history with children.
He's kind of walking in a non-offensive manner. He's kind of hands up. You know, he just wants to talk to them.
Really approachable when it turns. As soon as he gets there.
So, I think I'm just going to ask you to roll a general charisma roll.
Yeah, no worries. Sweet, it's a 4.
Okay, so as soon as you start to approach, they point back at you and they turn to each other and just two of them just bolt off into between two stilted houses.
He turns back around to the group. I wonder if they're orphans or street children. And they seem to be everywhere.
River jeans.
Could be just local kids.
Yep. Should we go to this inn you spoke of?
Yes.
The inn is quite... So you can see the building that he described quite prominently. It's maybe a row or two behind other buildings, but you can see the peak of it. It's a little bit off-kilter in its design. It's not very particularly straight. It's a bit wonky. And you can see this smoking chimney that kind of was bellowing this main plume that you detected from above previously. You also notice where this longer... what you assume to be the town hall is, which was described to you by Foad. And it's this longer building, a little bit in the distance, but all of you kind of assume that that's probably where he was referring to.
They have something of a problem with bandits and raiders here.
You see a boy that walks round some of the corners in the general direction that you're looking to head, and he's holding a small stringed instrument. I mean, he seems quite young. He's maybe early teens at the eldest. Human curly brown hair, quite short, not much taller than Zolan.
But taller than Zolan.
And he comes around the corner and he's playing his instrument.
You just had to get that in there.
The boys with round ears and pink fleshy bellies owe their lives to the elven Demric the Knight. Everyone seems to be just kind of walking around him, keeping their distance from him. That even people that were walking in that direction just kind of change the way they were walking and start to walk in another direction.
Yeah, Claro will approach him.
Okay. He notices you clapping and kind of smiles a little bit as you're walking towards him. And again, he strums down on his stringed instrument. If you see magic cast, the demon's coming for you. Report the foul swine, Demric save us.
Hello there.
Hello?
Malcolm will just tap on the shoulder and say, magic. Don't use any magic.
Can I shrug him
When
off?
the seas parted away.
Excuse me.
Already annoying. And the dead went away. Elven Demric stood strong, and the humans they ran.
Excuse me. Do you know any songs about Brogabush or Broga? I've never been to Broga.
Learn not from the gods who will banish this world. Learn from the king of the elves, king of all. Strumming occasionally. Also Demric the knight.
This
What, I've got an
this
awkward
album is
smile.
going to be incredible. So, interestingly, he's giving us some history. How long have you lived in Broga?
Not very long. I travel a little bit. Strums again. Demric the knight, so bold and so brave, cuts down all he sees to the ground with a cheer.
That's a fantastic song. Where did you learn it?
Oh, I learnt it from the elves. Learnt it from the Elven Kingdom.
Where is that? Where have you been?
The stories of Demric the Knight.
Yes, I can't say I know them well.
Oh, he's a hero. The boys with round ears and
he's
pink
going around
fleshy bellies.
Can I see your instrument?
45 verses of this.
Yes.
I've never seen one of those.
He holds
before.
onto it a little tightly. It looks like a guitar, but it's got a squared off bottom, and it's almost a triangular in its main body. Other than that, it's a relatively small instrument. It looks like it's made for his kind of
I'd like
size.
to
Just a
grab.
tissue box. Smash it!
I'd like to grab it by the neck and
Yeah.
just hold it away from him.
Okay.
Not aggressively, but just very much trying to get him to talk to me.
Okay, well, he's going to try and hold on to it. He'll contest you, as it were. He's going to try and just dodge it away from you.
14.
14, you grab it from... Oh, no, please, no.
Oh no, I'm not going to do anything with it. This is a fantastic looking instrument.
Play a song.
While you're not singing to us, could you tell us about Broga? What do you know?
I'm just a musician. I'm Bamba.
Hello, Bamba. I'm Claro.
Hello.
Have you ever been from Broga? Have you travelled?
Flicking to Zolan. Yes, I came from the Elven lands.
The Elven lands. Where is that? North, south, east, west?
So the Elven kingdom, as it were, is the vast, almost mini country or territory province where Asher is based for one.
Yeah.
But there's much more to it as well. Just to the east.
Are you an orphan? Do you live here with your family?
No. I left here to become a musician and spread the word of the elves.
Okay. I'll pass him back his instrument and give him a gold piece.
Jeez.
Oh, thank you.
Stay safe. Travelling on your own is dangerous.
I'll play for you. If you see magic cast, the demon's coming for you.
Tell me, do you write your own songs?
The foul swine, Demric save us.
Do you write your own
Can
songs?
you please not sing the song and just tell us the story behind the song? Because I feel it's significant.
Very well
You
done.
gave us,
Trying to write the
Rather than-
lyrics down while we're going through.
gave me a gold piece I must play for you. When the seas parted ways and the dead went away, Elven Demric stood strong and the humans they ran.
Malcolm pulls out the sword and shows it to the boy. This look familiar to you?
Is it pointed at his neck?
Just threatened a small
I'm
child.
doing it in a non-threatening manner.
Oh, hello there, child.
Like you-
Holding it out to him rather than threatening him with it. Does this look familiar to you?
No.
You recognise it?
No.
Okay. Put it back. I'll put it
Should I
away.
play more?
I'm getting from this that the people died. The humans died. Is that correct?
Just looks vacantly at you. Learn not from the gods who will banish this world. Learn from the king, king of elves, king of all. Also Demric the knight.
We're still here.
Okay.
Can we go now?
Yeah.
Adam?
Willie,
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
this child seems to be some kind of fool.
From round the corner,
No, he's a musician.
from round the corner as you're chatting to Bamba, from round the corner, you see quite tall, kind of strong looking, but not super muscular. He just looks like he's got a bit of a build to him. He's got a long neck, dark scruffy hair, long mutton chops, very weathered skin. It's actually a surprisingly long neck even. It's a
tried one of your
notably
hats.
long neck. He walks around quite quickly with a little bit of a stagger. Hey, he's looking right at you.
You
Oh.
are not having a good time.
And he walks right over and he just pushes.
Galosh, what are your foot?
He just pushes the little boy to the side. They're off. What are you?
Look at my fine boots.
He's tall. He's tall, but maybe a similar size to you, Thorin. He's human.
What was it?
He's got he's got a very characterful face. You can see all his wrinkles and you can see all of his deep frown and weathered skin, like you might see from a heavy smoker alcoholic or someone who's been out in the wilderness for years and years. Very deep set features.
I'm Zolan. Who are you?
He's looking right down. He's intentionally stood right over you and looking down at you as well. I've never seen you before.
Oh, I'm quite hard to see normally. I've never seen you before.
What?
Who are you?
What the? What have I been drinking?
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Scragger John.
Scragger
Of course you
John.
are.
My new best friend.
What the hell is going on? Who's up for a scrag? I'm not scragging you.
What's a scrag?
I really don't think you should ask that.
Do we involve? Fantastic.
I could scrag you if I tried.
What's a scrag? What's a
I think it's like an
scrag?
intimate kiss.
He's looking
What's
at
a
you all,
scrag?
and he kind of comes up to you. He's going to looking at your neck. May I?
Oh,
He just lifts your
Okay.
chin up a little bit. He looks at you next.
I back away.
you're not the local hangman by any chance, are you?
He looks at you. Lifts your. Oh, you could scrag maybe.
Scrag.
Would you care to scrag?
What is a bloody scrag?
But the Bamba, you've noticed, just kind of walked off to the side and disappeared back around the corner. There's some kids now. Again, there's groups of kids around. There's some adults as well. It's not
I'm
like
going
only
to
kids.
attempt to coerce with him. Learn not from the gods.
Oh, not you as well! Oh, God! Are you going to scrag or what?
Scrag. Do the scrag.
What is a scrag?
What's a scrag?
What is a scrag?
Oh,
Where
I
are you from?
mean, I know what a scrag is, but what is this? Our scrag? Is now?
Have you never scragged before?
I've scragged before.
Oh dear.
Of course, I've scragged.
I haven't.
Well, I'd love a new scragging opponent. I'm not scragging you, that'd be ridiculous.
What's a scrag?
We scrag us both.
Be like
Yeah.
scragging a baby.
Oh no.
Wanted to burn this guy.
Hoagie eats babies.
Oh no!
That's probably what scragging is.
Maybe.
Right, okay. Right, scrag.
Scrag him. Scrag him.
5 silver?
Yeah. I can loan you.
Yeah, you have to. Yes.
We'll figure this currency
I'll
out.
put a gold on.
A currency.
We got a scrag, ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen! He's clapping. You suspect he's been drinking. And you look around, there's a few children that are kind of watching, a few of them that are kind of excitedly talking and pointing and looking. And there's a few other people, even some of the adults have stopped and are looking around.
If you jump, you'll gently float back down to the ground with your hat on. So.
And a few of them, every one of them are looking at you particularly, but now people seem to be interested in this scrag.
I'm sort of joining in with the sort of clapping. I'm looking round.
I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
Scrag. But
Claire looks you dead in the eyes.
Very aware.
If this goes wrong,
Right.
Of what's,
we've got your back.
Okay.
Scrag.
Oh, it's going to go wrong.
You tie my hand behind my back and tie his behind his back. He passes you two kind of leather straps, basically.
Scrags.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, come
And
on.
doing tight.
Nice,
Tighter than that. Come on, tight.
Right.
All right. Oh yeah, that's quite tight. And then do the same to him.
Okay.
Well, less tight. Less
apparently it
tight.
has to be tight. There we go.
Great. Right now. Oh shit. There's another one in my pack there. He's got a little pouch that he's kind of indicating to. You grab that one out there.
Yeah.
And it's a larger one, but still a similar leather. But this one's kind of like a leather hoop almost. And it's got a way to tie it off at the end. It's like right round our necks.
Okay. So
Okay, neck to neck. And it's kind of front
around
front
your
with
neck,
you.
so
You're kind of neck to neck, almost in a lock. There. So you come to the side of you.
I love this place.
Right, okay. Oh, right. Okay, now what you gotta do is you gotta get me to the floor just with your neck, and I'll get you to the floor just with my neck. Tell me when you're ready.
Wow.
you should be good at this, Lauren.
Yeah.
You've got a fair amount of neck there.
I feel like I've done this as a child.
Yeah, you ready then?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
What's the battle music? What's...
Turn
it up!
It's on.
Scrag music.
Scrag.
Stephen, you can label that
Scrag,
scrag as well. You got a roll. What is rolling? A D20.
Can you roll?
Hang on a minute.
This is brilliant.
Amazing.
Mini game. I'm gonna scrag you at work tomorrow. First tea break.
Okay, can you give me your first
Suddenly I wish I
strength
worked
check?
with other people.
Oh, can't this be like some kind of wise...
Yes!
20!
One scrag, man. Over here.
Shoulders.
on your very first maneuver, you almost entirely get him to the ground. You just surprise him with your dexterity as much as your strength. And you kind of, I guess through as much agility as it is strength, manage to maneuver yourself.
My neck is quite giraffe-y.
Yeah. Maneuver down the ground. It's like, oh! And you've almost got him all the way to the bottom. Oh, I wasn't ready for that! Roll again.
You are one scrag, man.
Oh. 5.
5 plus your strength bonus.
5.
5, okay. Oh, it takes you right back up to almost the midpoint. You're still slightly on top of things, but he's almost got you in the midpoint. Keep going! And at that exact point, one of the children that was in the side again throws a mud ball that hits you in the side of the face.
I'm gonna grab some mud if I can. I'm gonna grab some mud and throw it
Okay, sure.
at the other scrag
You'll
guy.
get a -2 on this roll.
Oh, man.
Because it's just so distracting, catches you off guard.
What, it's a 1 then?
A 1. Okay. So he gets you. He didn't roll fantastically either. He gets you back up to the top. Ha 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 ha! Gotta watch out for that. Right. Okay. Are you throwing something?
I'm throwing
as well?
some mud.
Okay. Fine.
I'd like to aid him.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I've
you're
got
back.
a 19 plus whatever mod.
Wow.
I'm sure I'm gonna hit him with some mud. Are you
Well,
aiding?
you're kind of
Nice.
both throwing.
Yeah,
But
12.
Yeah. So advantage. And you hit him in the face with mud. There's just mud being pelted from either side. And again, he's keeping on you. Natural 20.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
got a roll.
Oh, jeez.
He's not 20'd.
11.
11, okay. Both got those muddy faces, filling up both your eyes and things. And he just presses down. He's got this big, heavy chest. You feel how strong he is. He's not fat, but he's just strong. He's done this before. He knows what he's doing. It's almost like Greco-Roman wrestling. He's forcing his weight down onto you.
I'm going to throw more mud.
Again! The neck, laddie!
Any opportunity, I want to throw mud at
Okay, you
him.
can throw some more mud.
I'm throwing mud at
as
him.
well.
Any opportunity.
That's all
Yeah.
fine.
Natural
now that I'm
one.
a little lower,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a bit of mud.
Well, you remember you've got your hands tied behind your back.
Oh,
at the
fuck.
moment.
Yeah.
1, no mud from me.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take the group
10.
check because we've got you all doing it.
7 was yes.
Okay. You might hit kind of a bit
There's
of both
mud
of them.
being-
There's just
yeah.
mud everywhere. There's not enough to
There's some
distract either one.
mudslinging going on.
Okay. Another strength check. Oh, that's cocked.
17.
Natural 1. As the mud's falling down you, he almost loses his footing. He slips in the mud, slips to the side, and you manage to press down your weight, push him right up, and manage to take him to the ground during this scrag.
Oh, I'm going to run over. That was the most exhilarating thing I've seen in ages.
I've been transformed during this.
I feel like you're the ringleader. You're like, this is my man, this is my Thorinir.
I've got the towel on. I'm the ring man.
Goodness, I haven't had a scrag like that in years. And he stands back up, just filthy. A few people are kind of clapping, and a few of them are booing. Boo!
Money has changed hands. no doubt.
General.
Boo or boo earns?
I said boo. And a few, you notice Bamba's there around the corner again. Even he's looking. He stopped singing.
The conqueror of Callus.
Bamba's got to write a song about this.
Oh, it was amazing! Such a rush. Can you do my straps?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your straps.
And he's still round by the neck as well. And the neck as well would be great. You see, it's very muscular in his neck. And Thorin is obviously, if you want to, you can undo his at the same time.
What's this guy called
Please
again?
do.
Scrag. What's he called?
John! Scragger John!
Scragger John.
Such a rush!
Like this guy.
I'm Scragger Thorinir.
Hey, Scragger Thorinir. You're a Scragger too, I
I'm
can
a
tell.
Scragger now.
That was fantastic.
All
You've
I
been
want
to
to do is
Shade Cap.
scrag. Who wants a scrag?
He's looking round, like waiting for someone to respond. You learn that in Shade Cap.
Sorry?
You learn that in Shade Cap.
No.
Oh, no. Where did you learn?
Just kind of picked it up here and there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they played it anywhere else, you see.
Oh, it's all around. It's all the rage on the outskirts.
Oh, you'd love Shade Cap.
Shade
It's
cap.
amazing. There's debauchery everywhere.
Are there trees?
Trees.
I mean, scragging.
There's scragging galore. Scragging everywhere. And you can scrag for as much money as you want. Oh, that reminds me. 5 silver.
Oh, nice.
Here you go. And he drops it into your hand.
Currency? How much do I give you?
No, you don't give me any. You won, you idiot.
It's all yours.
That's a
Put it in.
joke.
Put it in.
Scrag!
Scrag.
I was just going to shout scrag. I'm really excited.
I tell you what, you enter that tournament there, you'd have a right chance. I got close, but with those neck muscles, you'd have a right chance.
Tournament? Like a competition?
Yeah, the Shade Cap Scrag.
What's the prize?
Well, it's big. I don't know,
Currency?
but it's big. No one's ever won it, apart from
The guys want it.
apart from the guy who always wins it.
Is the guy human?
Why, no.
He's just one big net.
Porridge. He travels north for the scrag competition. Oh, sorry.
I'll tell you what, a good little tip for you if you ever get yourself in a wee scragging tournament.
Aye.
Oh.
Have a drink. Helps out.
I'm going to write
Not
this
too
down.
much. Just a little. Gives you that courage.
You're writing that down.
I am, because one day we're going to get into a scragging tournament.
Yeah.
and
Drink.
we're
But
gonna get-
heed my words!
Oh.
For I went through the ringer myself. If you enter a rich man, be prepared to come out of that place with nothing at all. That is, if you come out at all.
John, what brings you to Broga?
I lost it all.
That's fairly obvious.
I'd still be there, to be honest with you. But I bet it all on, well, drinking and gambling. The tables there, I swear, are rigged. And
Shake that.
Scrag. The tournament, you see, it's not cheap to enter, but you'd be a legend if you won that. What greater honour is there in this world?
Near the Scrag.
None. This is it.
But for now,
Screw Weirdwit.
if ever you want a Scrag, you know to come to Scragger John.
I'm glad you
Just going to shout
reiterate
Scrag.
Yeah.
Scrag.
Brilliant. So,
Can we move on now?
so to
Scragging
the
montage.
inn.
Yes.
Brilliant.
When we redo our intro, that is your intro.
Oh, yeah.
You're scragging someone.
Just you
Scrag training.
with a big leather strap around your neck.
Against a tree. Like,
Just like...
You're like scragging against bears in the forest.
He turns back round. He kind of looks back around him.
John,
Hey,
will you join
you
us?
want a Scrag?
Will you join us in the inn?
The inn. The Flumin' Burton, it's called.
Let me buy you a pint, Scragger.
No Scraggers in there, though, I tell you.
Well, we're new to Broga. We could do with a guide.
What do you want to see?
The inn.
All right. Yeah, it's over there. The smoky one. But no one will scrag you in there. Bunch of old farts.
Okay, well, we'll see you around.
It wasn't always that way. It wasn't always full of old farts. It was full of people who would scrag you, I think. But yeah, it's a bit shit.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Scragger John, actually.
Hey.
And he just kind of walks
Yeah,
away.
it's-
Just turns away, walks away. Anyone else want a scrag? And I'm just going to shake
That does
my
not
head.
surprise me.
No,
I feel like
John.
I've met this guy
No,
in
John.
Edinburgh. Shall we continue on to the inn? Yeah,
I think
perfect.
that's a good idea.
Lovely.
So you come across a tall, narrow tavern inn.
Oh, thank God.
3 stories.
Tall, narrow man with a chain.
3 stories high. And it's got the largest stilts of any of them. They're quite thick stilts. It doesn't look like some of the other stilts would hold this building. It's particularly tall. And the stilts are kind of almost riveted into the walls, and they run right the way up the whole building. There's a chimney at the top of it which splits into 3 at the top in a slightly twisted fashion. It's a very wonky, hippledy-pippledy type building where the smoke seems to emanate from. And inside you can hear a little bit of... You can hear some general activity from within inside as you approach it. The other thing, just as you're coming up to the front of the tavern, and you notice on a large painted sign, just there's no image or anything, it's just text, and just says the Fluming Burden. And then you notice just to the side of the tavern, just down in the main area, there are 2 jackalopes.
Jackalopes. Jackalope?
Yeah, those little horned hair creatures.
Jackalope.
They just sat there,
Not attacking?
whiskers twitching a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but seem to be minding their own business.
Notice things aren't attacking us here.
We haven't attacked anything yet.
No, usually we get attacked first.
It's the guards.
Can I approach and stroke?
You can attempt to, if you want to make an animal handling roll.
You should always ask.
Good approach and stroke.
It's
Yeah, definitely ask.
Mike 7.
A 7. You start to go towards them and they don't seem to react until you get really close to them, and just as you get really close to them,
Bite your
they-
hand off.
they both just turn and they bound in the other direction quite quickly.
Still probably moving a bit aggressively from the scrag. I'm still a bit like psyched.
Amped up.
Yeah, their antlers just kind of slightly clash together as they run away briefly. And they just
I'm a
disappear
bit
down the lane.
Begbie right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Into the
Malcolm,
inn.
I think as our designated human, you should go first.
Right. I shall open the door of the inn and enter.
Okay.
This is the closest we're going to get to a Western.
Howdy.
What brings you around these parts? Oh, it's busy in here.
It's busy.
There's a few people in here chatting. You see, as you walk in, a handful of commoners drinking at a series of small round tables.
Here we are, the good, the
And
bad,
there's
the
one
ugly, short.
large, much higher quality round
he's
table. It looks
ugly.
new. It looks shiny, varnished in the centre of the room. It kind of dominates the main room, and then the smaller rooms, smaller tables around the edge of the room where other commoners are sat. The whole room just smells sweaty as you enter. It's just a bit kind of musty and
Full of
sweaty.
vomit like the last one. Wasn't
But also smoky because there's this open fire at one extremity of the room. There's a big hearth as well. It's a large fire. Really warms you up as soon as you enter. Not that you were cold anyway. It seems unnecessary, this temperature, to be honest with you. Very hot.
This
So
temperature is
aligned.
unnecessary.
Galoshes.
You notice a man that stood at a sort of bar. It's a long table at one end, which kind of clearly acts as a bar. And there's some drinks and barrels behind it, with glasses and things. No one's eating here. Certainly it doesn't remind you of the last time you were in a porridgey inn.
The gods.
And you notice a few people, but the one that stands out to you is a bald-headed man. He's got kind of a permanent, looks like a frown, just the way his eyebrows are. They're just pointing down. Whether he's actually frowning, but that's just the natural formation of his face.
Trap wind.
He's bald. And he's got longish grey hair. Longish grey hair around the sides and kind of male pattern baldness on the top, and he's got a wispy grey, short wispy grey beard, and slightly, and he's thin. He's quite slight. He's wearing a nice black collared jacket. And not as elegant trousers as Zolan is wearing.
He's standing at the bar.
He's nearish the bar. He's clearly it's obvious to you he works here in some regard.
Was that really shiny table as shiny as my boots? Not quite.
Not exact. Your boots are particularly. They were lovely sheen. This table was just shiny.
What colour are the boots?
Black.
They are black.
Gloss. High. Gloss.
Proper bondage boots.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
High heel.
Rocky Horror.
Fishnets. The rest of the way.
This is Zolan. Any heel is high heel.
This table is no one occupies it.
No one's on this table.
Shall we sit down?
I don't think we've actually had a civilised sit down at a table, have we?
I'll go to the bar. You can take a seat if you like. I will go to the bar and get some drinks.
Okay, Mal. Should we sit at the bar? Sit at the table?
I'll sit.
Do you need a high chair or?
How does it look at me
There's
with
one-
me
there's-
sat at this table?
Over in the corner, there's one dark wood high chair which you bring over.
I get strapped in as well. Don't fall out.
I mean, you can sit. You can
Got a
get
little
on the
tray at
chair.
the front of it.
Yeah.
Your head just about protrudes over the top of the table.
Oh yeah, I don't have no high chair.
Yeah. So you're walking
can
up
sit
to
on
the
your
bar.
back.
I'll go up to the bar.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
three
I
of you.
bag.
You all realise just how filthy Claro is as well, because remember he's face planted in this mud and it's very much adhered and dried to you now.
I haven't
Frosty.
showered since.
You haven't even scragged.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be covered in mud as well. You've been scragging.
Getting there.
I know,
Oh
sweaty.
yeah.
You won.
I've had mud thrown at me.
Yeah.
Beans.
Yours is fresher.
No shit.
You have lovely trousers, you're just very happy with that.
I'm extremely happy.
You're going over to the bar.
I'll go up to the bar.
I'm gonna scrag you later.
Yes, scrag you rotten.
I'm keen.
What's the
He turns around quite quickly as you talk to him.
hello, what's the best local drink?
You from here?
No. No, new in town.
He looks across at your table. Who are these people?
They're with me.
Is that a halfling with you?
No, he's a gnome.
A gnome?
Gnome.
I'm gonna wave you across the bar.
We don't know him.
No.
What the hell is he doing here?
He's with us. He's our friend.
Is that an elf?
No. He just looks sort of elfish. Gets it all the time. People think he's an elf.
This is very unusual. What are you guys doing here?
We're just passing through, actually. Just wanted to stop in and have a... We've been walking, we've been travelling a long time today, and just wanted to stop in for some refreshment.
Where are you travelling from and to?
It's not so much the destination as the journey that matters.
So true. We can all learn from that.
What do you want to drink?
What's good?
We have mead.
Oh, yes, mead. Yes. I'll have 4 pints of mead.
Pints.
3.5 pints of mead.
Half. Do you? I do mugs.
Mugs is fine.
Okay.
However it comes.
Okay. 16 copper.
I have 7.5
Feel like
gold.
we've been here before.
Yeah.
You're looking for lodging?
Actually, yes. Can we get a room for the night?
He leans
Just
in.
wave
Do you
it.
have lodgings?
He leans into you and goes, yeah. What are you really doing here?
We're here to help with your bandit situation.
Nailed
Really?
Yeah. But keep it to yourself.
Was that true?
Can't really say that at the moment.
Lord
Okay.
Theodos.
Captain.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
But first, take Zolo's trousers.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Don't just provide
That's
you
13.
with +1 persuasion.
13.
I have
Can I borrow
no
your trousers?
hindrance when
Well,
crossing
actually, hang
difficult
on a
terrain.
minute. I've got.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure
I'm
I've got
just scragging
something
my way
on
through.
persuasion.
I'm just gonna like skate through with my new trousers.
Okay.
No.
Let's
I need to have a super mix of the one. Milk bottle.
talk upstairs.
Oh,
Okay.
Been,
I've done this in Divinity once.
been on 20 years.
we're
And
still
he-
at the table, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Been
can
20
we,
years.
Can we get
It's
a
milk
drink
bottle.
for my friends first?
Yes. And he goes behind his counter, goes over to one of the barrels, cork, and pours 4 mugs from the tap, and carries them over to you. Walks over to you, looks you well in the eyes. Everyone? These 4?
Yeah.
And he serves them round.
Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Do you scrag?
No?
Okay.
He's clearly double taking all of you. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
What's going on, Malcolm?
He walks back away from you all.
He wants to scrag
No,
Thorin.
he wants. I mentioned the bandits, and he wants to have a word with us upstairs.
Again, you're very aware of everyone's eyes on you particularly.
Okay.
All of you, but mostly on you.
You do realise he could be in cahoots with the bandits. And taking us upstairs could be a trap.
I realise
These
this.
people really like your trousers.
Have you seen the sheen off them?
I've seen the sheen.
They're an eye catcher for sure.
They're proper scragging trousers.
Proper scragging dress.
I will sit down and have a couple of sips of my drink.
What do I have to roll to neck my pint?
You can neck your pint.
Done. He hasn't had alcohol in a really long time. He's
Sure.
quite happy about it.
I go steady with my drink.
Necked a mug of mead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Oh boy.
He does a big burp.
We're going to be carrying her out of here. Okay. So I'll go I'll have a couple of pulls of my drink.
It's quite bitter. It's not amazingly pleasant, but it's actually it's the first alcohol that you've had for some time.
Very
those
welcome.
of you who enjoy alcohol, it's refreshing enough. Warm but refreshing enough.
So I'll go back up.
Wouldn't go amiss. Fine
I'll
now.
go back up to the barman and say, accommodation?
Yes, I'll show you to your room.
We could do with a room for the night.
Okay. Come with me. Takes you up.
Do we all follow?
Are we coming, or is it just Malcolm going?
He's kind of opening, he's leaving it up to you almost. You know, he's
Do you beckon us, Malcolm?
Want to come?
Beckon.
I'm looking at the other guys.
I'm eyeing up scraggers.
Oh yeah.
Potential scraggers.
Yeah.
don't try
I don't see any scraggers.
What do you think? I'm gonna come. Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna go with you, Malcolm.
Okay.
I'm gonna strut. While everyone's looking at me. Might as well strut my way across the room. Catwalk it. Really.
Yeah. You're clearly the main conversation. You can hear people. You can physically hear what they're saying about you.
What are they saying?
They're just questioning how small you
Oh,
are.
he looks fabulous.
They're like, is he a human? They're saying, is he a halfling? Is he a tiny man? You know, all these kind
Where
of
did
things.
he get these fabulous boots from?
Freak, someone says.
Freak!
Yeah.
Are your ears really small?
I think gnomes. They're generally human looking, just a bit small and maybe some bigger noses. You know, just some slightly enlarged
do
features.
gnomes look like garden gnomes?
I haven't got a fishing rod, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's just because
and or a blue
garden
jumper
gnomes
and red
tend to be-
trousers.
They have quite big ears. And
There is an
It's-
almighty garden gnome next door,
Is there?
right by your back garden.
We could get it
Yeah.
for to compare. Yeah,
Probably
they're big, like
open to
like you say,
discussion.
they've got big
We have
features.
loads of art
Yeah.
on the wall which
Yeah.
depicts gnomes.
Oh, we can't see.
Yeah, you can see.
Where's-
Anna's drawn some for us right there.
It has fairly normal ears, quite a powerful nose.
Powerful.
I just wondered how your hearing was because you seem to be mishearing the situation. These guys don't. They're confused by you, son. They don't know what you are.
Leading you up the stairs.
Yeah, Thorin.
They're not after you. They're not impressed by your trousers.
So you two,
I do have
guys are
points.
staying at the
No, perhaps
table?
we should follow Thorin
I do have pointy ears. Only
do
little, just a pointy ears.
I will do whatever Thorin does.
I'm just going to keep
Well,
strutting.
you know,
Just to ignore them, isn't it?
I'm following you. I'm like they don't like you.
Listen,
So you're,
Okay, so we're all
I'm just not
we're
sure
all
about
following
me.
the barman.
yeah, okay.
What did you do to
So
them?
you all
Jealous.
head up this kind of narrow staircase.
Jealousy, Thorin.
You head up this narrow staircase which kind of hugs the outside of this building. A bit kind of twisted again. Everything in it, nothing's perfect. Everything's a bit
It's all made of
misshapen.
wood and
Yeah,
poorly built.
exactly. And you
Don't even think it.
and the stairs creak as you step up each one. One of them rocks a little bit, and you think that you're about to collapse through
A
it. But
couple
yeah.
of nails just
Yeah.
sticking.
It's
down.
quite an
Yeah.
unusual place you've got here.
Yes. And the smoke is kind of spilling all out as well. It's not all kept to the chimney particularly well. It's spilling all around, and it's smokier as you rise up these stairs. Come this way. And what do you know about the bandits?
Not an awful lot.
And it just gathered kind of in the corridor. It hasn't taken you into a room yet. It's just taken you to somewhere.
Not an awful lot. We hear you have a bit of a bandit problem here.
We have bandits, but you were sent here
Captain Vilnos from Calus sent us.
from Kalas.
From Calus.
I see. We were not expecting you till tomorrow.
Well, we've had an easy road. Right, Malcolm?
Yeah.
You
long,
Yeah, guys.
long walk, but
Yeah.
did well. Welcome. Not as I imagined you. I apologise for my less than warm welcome. Please.
Fine. We are quite an unusual bunch.
Let me introduce you to the others. And he opens up one of the hotel. It's like a hotel style rooms at the top. He opens up one of the
Key
one
card.
of the rooms there. Yeah. He tries it. And he goes to the next one. Looks a bit flustered now.
What did he see in that room?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
He just goes into the next
Key
room.
card never works in the
And you
first
just
room.
see
Seeing
not
the shining with
and he opens it.
giant bed.
The Callus delegation are here.
Let me get my trousers back.
How shall I take them? Just come through. Just come through for a moment. Okay. And he just leads you into this just room, a small bedroom. And as you walk through, you see two people. You notice quite a scene. So on
Some of trousers.
on the
Never too fast.
Yeah. Head down.
so as you walk in, there is a man with his trousers down, sat on the bed. As a skinny, pale man with quite well kept brown hair. The trousers round by his ankles, and
Pants on?
there is
They don't wear pants.
another man. There's another man with a brown cape, and he's inserting something into the man's genitals.
Into them?
The man is kneeled down with a brown cape
Oh, God.
and grey hair. He's quite old. He's got grey hair, a grey moustache, and a big roundish face, a little bit droopy in places.
Not ashamed.
Oh, very sorry. And the other man looks a bit overwhelmed that the four of you are here, and
He's just gone bright red. And you see lots of equipment on the floor. It looks like some kind of medical procedure
Oh, it's not
is taking
like
place.
a roll if it was
You-
sexual or medical.
You can see
God for
scissors.
that.
You can see scissors. You can
Cool.
see lots of sharp tools. There's all sorts of different things. You can see some just little vials and pots.
Claire can't see anything. He's looking at his boots.
Malcolm is just standing straight, goggle-eyed.
In the back of the room, there's another man who
Please tell me he's got his trousers.
has got longer grey hair. Again, this balding over the top. Big
Even
liver,
more instruments in his penis.
big liver spots all over his head. Very pale eyes. Almost looks like he's got it's almost pupil, almost irisless eyes. They're very white eyes. Human still. These are all humans by appearance. And he's a bit more hunched, very, very old. You can see he's extremely old, this man. Not very good dental hygiene, and a long black robe, and he's stood by the window. He looks a bit jaundiced as well, with slightly discoloured skin.
welcome to Prologue.
I think we've made some form of mistake.
This is Camberwood. He's the innkeeper. I'm Monty, the innkeeper here. This is Camberwood, and he's pointing to the man with the liver spots. And this is Dr. Gable. He is in the midst of an operation. I apologise for this.
Excuse me. Pull your trousers up.
And he's still got whatever this implement is attached to him.
Blimey.
Really? Pull them up. What could the thing? Pull them up.
No,
He
don't
pulls his-
let us interrupt.
Pulls
No,
his
if this
trousers
is-
up,
if
and he's
this
still
is-
got.
This is if we've interrupted at a moment.
Away with you. And he just ushered him away. Come, no, you can't leave me like that. I want to come back tomorrow.
And he kind of runs past you all, just a little bit embarrassed, just shyly runs through you all.
Boots.
Rattling ever so slightly.
I must apologise, my friend. We were performing an operation. He's got a problem.
He has now.
Yeah.
These are our friends from Galosh, from the trade delegation. I apologise, I did not catch your names.
I'm Malcolm.
Hello, Malcolm.
Bert. My name's Bert.
Bert?
Bert Macklin. Dorwin.
Dorwin?
Scragger Blue Lock.
Scragger Blue Lock.
Say it with an accent, it's more believable.
Scragger Blue Lock.
Well, I must apologise. We were not expecting you until tomorrow. We are quite unprepared. I don't know what you must think of us here.
We caught you with your trousers down. He smiles at his boots.
What were you expecting? I heard you talk about a delegation. We're not the delegation. We're just here for.
As soon as you say that, they kind of all recoil. What?
We're here for security. For the bandits.
Make a deception roll.
Or
What's my deception?
make a persuasion roll instead.
I still get +1. It's not too bad. It's 14.
Okay.
I see. Ahead of the delegation.
Yes, ahead of the delegation, yeah.
Yes, we're here to do something about your bandit problem.
Oh, I didn't realise that was part of the discussion. What has happened to your skin?
I've been scragging.
I've got something for that. And he has a little look through one of his bags. He's like,
You just have to pass this up the end of your penis.
I dropped my trousers.
Roll a d12.
Give me some time.
Do you want to scrag?
What is this?
It's dried mud.
Don't be so inquisitive, Dr. Gable. Of our guests, they're here to help us.
It's of no concern to you.
Would you like a room?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
We will.
Not this room.
I will give you a room next to them.
Okay.
Do you know what time they are coming tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No, we were sent on well ahead.
Good.
They might be more than a day or so behind us.
Are you hungry? Can I get you anything to eat?
Yes, yes, we would definitely like some food and
More ale.
some more meat.
Oh, mead.
Okay. We will sort some. I will sort something for you. Anything good for you?
Got any bracken?
Bracken. We have gambol eggs.
I'll have some.
Yeah, they're our delicacy.
Whatever's going.
Gamble eggs. Gamble eggs.
Gambol eggs.
Oh, good lord.
Gamble eggs. Gamble eggs.
Gambol eggs.
Gamma
Just-
eggs?
Yes. I'll have some.
We'll have 5.
Yeah.
We'll need more than that. Well, I can bring it to your room.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
That
We'll,
would be-
we'll go
that
to
would
our
be
room.
Are you saying
Yeah.
eggs or legs?
That's fine.
Gambol eggs.
These are either the eggs of the gamble or the legs of the gambo.
Yeah.
We'll find out sometime very soon.
Gambol eggs.
And were they responsibly sourced?
I'm just imagining him with subtitles. It's just gibberish. Grab my legs. Yeah, can we go to our room,
Have
please?
Doritos.
This is a weird place.
The bloke in the corner doing the sign language hasn't got a clue what
So he kind of opens up 2 rooms for you. There's 2 rooms.
No, that's not how I speak.
There's 2 2 beds in each. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. And he opens each one up with a big key and lets you in. Please make yourself comfortable.
Who's bunking with who?
Bagsy Zola, he takes up less space.
Are there any trees around?
Can't see any trees, no.
I think there's a lot of trees around here.
Do we have beds in the conch?
I think
Yeah,
We slept on the floor.
Yeah.
It's the first bed I've ever had.
You sleep on
Never
that?
seen a bed before.
Sleep on that?
it's going to change your world.
Quite soft. Possibly.
It was a
Might not
little
be soft.
pampered.
That's
champion scragger like
that's
me.
sea folk for you.
These are the first comfortable-looking rooms that you've seen. Likewise, you might not have seen beds like this for some time, and who knows for you, Claro, and New Zealand. But these are nice, reasonably comfortable-looking rooms, perfectly warm, dry, and they're reasonably well maintained. Still a bit wonky, but nice rooms.
Jump on the bed. You've got to test the bed on the hotel, haven't you? Jump on the bed.
Yeah.
Come on, Claro!
I made a mistake.
Jump on the bed.
What time of day is it?
I'm doing exactly the same.
It's early afternoon.
Okay, cool. So too early to sleep, really.
Yeah, but we'll dump our stuff.
Yeah, we'll dump our gear, I guess.
Yeah. I'm
I'm going to drop the big rusty sword. I don't want to carry that around anymore.
I'm going to drop my stuff in my room, but I'm going to keep my staff strapped to my back where it always is.
Yeah, I might leave my cloak, carry my favourite scroll in one side of my belt, and my knife in the other.
Got a Batman utility belt now.
No, it's just a normal belt,
We'll
Lisa.
come and join you in your room.
For a game of shithead.
In a meta way, I'm saying I still have a spell focus. So there we go. We're all good.
Even though that would be illegal.
Yeah. It's a favourite scroll. Just in case.
I'm never taking these galoshes off.
You've been left to your own devices. There's a window that looks out over Broga, and actually, is the first time you notice now you've got this vantage point. The size of the town is reasonably large, lots of similar looking buildings. But one thing draws your attention from the far side, the opposite side to where this pulley lift mechanism was that you were looking at. There's what looks like a big, almost indent in the side of the mud bank, where it looks like something huge has made that indent. It looks like there's a big dip into it, and quite clearly at the bottom of it there's this enormous, pretty tricky to make out exact sizes, but maybe in the realms of 20-foot long, hulking, great big brown grey creature
Neil.
that stood there.
This is Neil's wife, this is.
It's facing away from you, so you can't see much more than that, other than it's a quadruped and quite sizable and kind of brown grey. You all infer, as you're looking at it, that it has slid down. It's quite obvious in the way the land is formed there.
Can I see this?
If you're looking at the window, whoever's looking at the window.
Does it look anything like what we've seen in Callus? You know, they had some ginormous quadruped that was like transporting goods.
Ever saw them, did you?
Yeah, because I was at the tree from the outside.
He's the only one
I think
that saw
I was the
it.
only one that saw one, I think.
Oh, sorry, that one. I
Yeah.
was thinking you meant the thing in the barn. It
Oh,
was,
not the thing in the barn, no.
They had 20 legs or more,
Oh,
these creatures,
blimey.
whereas this one has got 4 legs.
Okay.
Hopefully this isn't like an Ultima weapon situation. That thing's going to just wreak havoc.
Don't know that reference.
Final Fantasy 7. Shall we continue on to the town hall and see what else we can see here? Or we could drink ourselves into a
I mean, it's fun drinking and bouncing.
Yeah.
We could drink later.
Scrag!
There's still plenty of evening to go, so we could scrag and town hall.
Thorin is quite a lightweight.
I think what we'll do is we will leave our evening there, as we've hit a certain time, with you nicely bouncing on your beds and drinking your beverages, and then next time...
Come on, Claro!
He's drinking as me and just watching.
We'll
No.
pick
Who's
up.
got to test the bed in the hotel?
We'll pick up from there
Okay.
next time.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank
Another
you, Jack.
Brilliant
Thank you,
characters. Every character you've got.
Goonies, as
Brilliant.
well, for watching.
Yes, thank you everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you,
Cheers to you.
all of our Dragoonies and any new fans out there, and all of our stalwarts as well. We always
Sure, we can have a better word for them than that.
are.
I entirely forgot to mention the fact that we are doing a Comic Con this weekend.
Oh, yes.
We're all good, aren't we?
Saturday.
Yeah.
All of us are
We're
there. Exeter Comic Con opens at 10 o'clock. I don't know where it is, but find it on the Google. And we will be teaching people how to play Dungeons & Dragons. I will be running one-shots.
Stu's going to run his
Stu's
first
going to run his
ever
first
game, aren't
ever
you?
game.
My first ever DMing.
It's going to be amazing.
Good luck.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I think with that, we will say...
Happy
I really need the toilet, so I'm going to go to the toilet.
Happy birthday.
You'll have to swag me to hold me.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
More